fuck is this?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Touching Tips. I'm joined by Decepticon, who's gone through radical reassignment surgery. He's changed his appearance. He's gone to witness protection. He goes by a new name now. Why don't you tell us all about yourself?
Listen, I did a lot of drugs in Jersey back in the day. You know, I did a lot of crimes. I did a lot of stuff with bad people. So, you know, I'm protected now.
And you're ready to clean your act up?
Well, not 100%, but the hardcore drugs, yeah, no more.
All right, just the marijuana now. So
back in the day.
This could be, I don't know if this is going to be a permanent thing or not. I don't know if Jackpot's going to be available to do these, how often or whatever. But as you can see, everything's kind of rough. The layout isn't how I wanted it to be. We kind of ran out of time at the end. The chat box isn't perfectly aligned like I would like, and the video on the bottom is all stretched out. But, you know, it is what it is. Let me say hello to people who have joined. Can you even see the chat from here? I don't know. First of all, can you hear Jackpot? Can you hear me? Can you hear Jackpot? Is everything?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Test. Do you like my background? PP tried to force me to take it down.
I
didn't. It was offensive. He said it was going to be offensive for some people.
I said that was cool. Yeah. I said you can put things in the background there. I think Decepticon tried to do something like that. Didn't he have a TV?
He had a computer from like 60 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. It was like a little
like a 12-inch.
It was like a 12-inch and a lava lamp and a wizard ball. You know,
a wizard ball. Yeah.
We have a war room. I'm just going to call you Brave Sir. Brave Sir Robin is here. We have Donnie. We have LSB. If there's no aim controller, then what is the tips that we are touching? We are honoring the legacy of PSVR. We don't just forget PSVR 1 just because we're on PSVR 2 now. We don't forget. Let's be asking if we will touch penis tips. What do you think?
I said no. Maybe
not a hard no. Soft. It's a soft no.
I was thinking about ways, but no. I just no.
He was thinking about ways. We could. I mean, we both got. I was telling him we both got the webcam, so I could put mine up to mine, and he could put his up to his, at the same time. It'd be like touching across a cyber tip touch.
I mean, we. Not live. I mean,
why not live? You want me to? You want edited, and you need some enhancements?
Probably. Yeah. You guys zoom in that camera because most of those cameras don't zoom in that much. So
okay. Well, at least you're honest. I appreciate your honesty. You're off to a good start.
You know, don't start. Listen.
I'm listening.
I can't even see you. I might have to look at you on the phone.
You just have your phone open and you can see. It'll be like delayed by 30 seconds, but you'll have an idea. Just imagine a very handsome man speaking to you, and that'll be the gist of it. Tasuki over here saying the tips of dead batteries. He is a filthy Quest user, but I think he is slowly becoming a more decent human. I think he's, games like Firewall Ultra, he can't deny them any longer.
I've never denied Firewall. I told you I was buying it regardless. I told you I'll buy the PSVR 2 just for Firewall.
Anyway.
That's not a real.
Listen, let's not say he said, she said. All right. Let me just get through some of these comments. War Room Lolin. Donnie says the test is good. I assume that means for both of us. Is there a volume that needs to be adjusted? Perhaps Jackpot should be up a bit louder. Would you like that?
Probably not. They would like me to be muted.
Deadeye Dan is here. He says, hi y'all, sounds good, pumpkins. Nice, thank you for letting me know. The two reliables letting me know. We have got Tasuki saying most people seem to get it correct. What's he talking about?
I don't know. Tasuki, we never know what he talks about.
We don't know what you're talking about, Tasuki. Decepticon is here, who used to be over where Jackpot is right now, but he's abandoned us completely for Mark Zuckerberg. He was offered.
Would be right here. He would be right here. But
the invitation was extended to him. However, he's gone to the dark side, and I don't know if there's any coming back for him. Anyway, he says Jackpot equals shit. And Tasuki says, say hello to Jackpot, the ex-champ, says Tasuki.
Listen, I was going to be the champ yesterday. I had to leave because something happened.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
but the day before, I was a champ. I am the people champion.
Just admit it was battery. Just admit the battery died.
No, I don't got that Bobo garbage. I got some other ones from Best Buy.
Yeah, and those Best Buy. Wow.
You got Best Buy in Ireland? Do you guys
No,
have
we
that?
don't
What do
have
you
Best
guys
Buy.
have?
We don't have that. We've got different franchises, but we're not here to talk about the franchises that we
All
have in
right, sorry.
Ireland. All
I'll
right?
be quiet.
No, I'm only messing. You talk about whatever you want. All right, just relax. I feel like you're too on edge. You're too well behaved or whatever. Just let
I'm trying
loose.
to open the chat on the computer
Why
because I
don't
can't
you?
see it on the
Why
phone.
don't you?
That's why I'm trying
Why
to
don't you?
multitask.
Why don't you inhale a spliff and loosen out or whatever it is? Whatever it is you do.
There's no spliffs. That's gross.
LSP can hear us both. Thank you, LSP. Decepticon says from sea to shining sea. He's inspired by the flag, I think. Both
Oh
sound
yeah, he
good, says
likes
Dan.
it.
Thank you, Dan. All sounds
You
good.
see? I told you. You thought people were gonna get offended by it, and I told you
I
please them just try to force them to take it
Someone will
down.
be offended. I'm going to get a strike for that. Solid
Oh wow.
Justice, the man from Belgium, says, hi all, how you doing, Solid Justice? Pleasure to have you here. And Donnie said, Testes good. Yeah, but listen,
Hopefully
just
I'm
because
not.
Testes is good doesn't mean it can't be little alterations, you know, Jackpot. Maybe he could be like a few decibels higher, you know, that's what I mean. Six says, people guessed it would be Jackpot. Literally
Well, who
one
else? I
person.
mean,
Literally one person guessed us.
nobody.
Nobody.
This guy can't afford nobody.
Nobody.
You know, he just offered some private pics, and I was like, all right, let me go. Let me
You
cancel
solicited
everything. I'll go
me.
home.
You solicited
Yeah.
me.
All right.
All right. You're like,
I offer
hey,
my services.
please, Mister Pumpkins, please. I need just give me an opportunity to prove myself. I can be better than Decepticon ever. Hey, yes, hey.
Well, that's
Let
not
me
hard to
get
do,
on.
but
Let me get on with some Petrifying pumpkins touching tips, hey. And I was like, well,
that's gonna get you a strike.
I couldn't say
Your
no to that.
bigotry.
Well, you don't just. I was just quoting what you said. It was a voice message. He sent me a voice message.
Sure. Anyways,
LSP says, you're such a liar, Jackpot. I knew it was going to be you, even though you hella deflected that shit. Justice says he's
listen.
good. How you guys doing? How are you doing? No one cares.
Me? You talking to me?
Yeah, I'm
Am I
talking to
good?
you. I'm talking to you.
I'm good. I'm
You're good?
I'm chilling. I just smoked the Wheaties. I ate a whole bird.
A whole
Oh, yeah.
chicken?
Yeah, it was a slice like this one. It was like I'm gonna go to the bathroom and the whole bird is gonna come out. I
Damn.
think
You're gonna have them chicken
it's
sweats?
pretty good.
We're getting chicken sweats
Yeah.
midstream? All
No,
right.
not midstream. After
No,
probably. Who knows?
after?
Anyways,
Okay.
how about you? How are the babies? You sleeping?
Baby,
Finally?
one of them went down with difficulty, but we got there in
Probably
the
the-
end. You know, it took a little
Probably
bit
the
of time.
genius one.
Maybe. They're all, but which one? They're all geniuses, you know. They got my
Well-
genes, so they're gonna be fine.
If they're anything smart, it's because of their mom, not you. But
Well, she's not. If she's so smart, what's she doing with me?
some people are just very, they like charity. They like to help others. They feel bad
All
for
right.
other people.
Okay.
They know they're never gonna reproduce.
She's
So
kind.
it's like,
She
man.
is kind. All right.
And you
I'll
told me
give you that.
Ireland has only like 6 million people, so she's
Yeah.
doing her part.
She is.
She's doing it
She's
for
a
the
trooper.
motherland.
She is a trooper. Efficient too, with the twins. Decepticon says PP sent me a message at like 5 a.m. saying Jackpot wouldn't leave him alone. I was just asking
Yeah,
for
right.
advice. How do you get rid of him? How do you ding dong ditch this guy?
God.
And Tsuki says, I can be on a TT and there will never be another. Too good. It will never be topped. And you will just give up on trying future episodes. Or it will be so bad that the same thing happens. Cancelled via shame.
Well, I told
don't
people
doubt
after this, he's gonna get canceled. Unsubscribe everybody.
The positioning of the chat box is really annoying me. I just wished I just lifted it up a few more pixels. You know?
Shit.
Anyway, Jackpot, the reason we're kind of back today of all days is because there's big news. Big news in PSVR 2 town. And in case you've stumbled across this and you don't know what Touching Tips is, and maybe you wouldn't because it doesn't make any sense, it's a podcast dedicated to PSVR and now PSVR 2, I suppose. But yeah, we had some big news. Firewall Ultra finally got the release date that we've all been waiting for, and it's a lot shorter of a wait than many people accuse them of. A lot of people have been like, oh, this is 2024, it's never coming, forget about it, pumpkins, etc., etc. And then they hit you with the just over 1 month away. Just over 1 month away. Thoughts? Jackpot, what do you think about the news we got today?
I'm excited. I figured they were gonna give us the news pretty quick right before release. Because that seems like everybody was hinting at whatever year release of Firewall. It was like almost in August or something.
Oh, you
So
mean the anniversary?
the anniversary, yeah. So I
Yeah.
figured it was gonna be something like that. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm happy it's quick. Because if they would have just, told us months before, I probably would have my moisture levels would probably, would have been a little dry by now. So yeah, I'm excited and yeah, less than a month or a month ago. So
What I mean, Firewall Zero Hour. I went back and I looked through all my videos because I wanted to figure out when did they actually reveal the release days compared to when it actually launched, and it was 2 months, which still isn't a lot, but this is much closer to 1 month. What's going on? Why?
in my
I assume it's
opinion,
Sony, like, but
I don't know. Maybe because I feel like when Firewall 1 came out, Zero Hour, they had more stuff to talk about. Not like there's not stuff to talk about right now, but before they had to explain what the game was, right? The game modes, all that type of stuff. Now, most people know Firewall. I mean, if you play VR, if you don't know Firewall, I don't know what's going on. But even now, I think Firewall stands, as one of the best games. So I think maybe it's that they just don't have as much information like they did before. Maybe just Sony, because they have them by the nuts and
like,
tell them what they have to do and all that. So maybe that could be it.
I have a feeling it probably is Sony related. I don't know. Maybe things are up in the air. Like maybe there's like, because you always hear rumors of showcases and whatnot, and so maybe they had planned to show it at this one, and then they pushed it back. And, it's we had David Jagneau and I think Frank were teasing that they had this trailer practically, done a long time ago. I don't know if they actually said it was done, but they said they were working on us, and that was like months ago. So it's
Yeah, I
it's
remember
taken a long
Frank
time.
saying. I remember Frank saying or posting something like, "Oh, we're very excited. We just worked on a trailer or something
Yeah,
like that," and it was months ago. So yeah,
yeah.
maybe like you say, they got to keep pushing it back.
And
But
this was a short trailer, and it was only showing oil rig. So we've already seen that map is practically like it's done, obviously, because the game's out in a month. So would it have really taken that long to make the trailer? Like months and months to make this trailer?
nah,
I
I
think
don't.
it's
I don't think it'll take months. Yeah.
Sony interference is my imagination. Hold on a sec. My eyeballs are distracted by a big bright orange color. By the way, we do not split the super chats. That's not how it works. It didn't work for Decepticon. It's not going to work for you.
Oh, God, you got
Set
to
up.
work early. Yeah.
Hold on a sec. I got a Tasuki don't like it alert blasting in my
Vandal_VR
ears.
has just donated 20 through Super Chat. So damn moist. The Pumpkin King has no need for hack keys, but when the pumpkin skin comes out in Ultra, you can equip it immediately.
There we go. Thank you very much, Vandal Viewer. I'm going to read that out again properly and go over us. Let me just catch up on the rest of the comments before I do. Deadeye Dan says the little ones becoming resistant to chloroform. They're building up a resistance. Siggy says chat box broken. Unsub. I know it's unsightly. It is unsightly. Is it just not updating? Is that what the issue is? LSB says damn jackpot. That's a huge F in thermos. Thermos. Your thing you were drinking out of.
Oh,
Big.
this.
That thing.
Yeah, bitch.
Impressed.
Hydrated. I don't want to have to
Impressed by
fill
the
it up
size of
like
that?
5 times a day.
Okay. All right. What's in that thing? Bit of
Water.
agua.
What else?
Bit of agua.
Water.
Agua, ese, maybe some cervezas, yo.
I don't drink.
Decepticon says, let's hear Amanda's opinion. Get her on here. Oh man, you should get her on. Can you get her on the television somehow? Set up a video chat with her on the
will
television
never-
behind you on a Skype call or
She
something.
would never, ever, ever join. She would
Why
join
not?
the chat because she hates you.
She hates
Doesn't want
me.
nothing to do with it.
She hates me. I'll change your mind, Amanda. Come on. Give me another chance, baby.
Your girlfriend better not be listening because you're definitely sitting on the couch. You're sleeping outside with the fucking
She's just on the other
with that
side of the
poop
door.
thing you used to heat up your bodies.
She what?
Then
Oh
you
no,
told me
no,
that's
I'm
what
not
you
going
used.
into turf. We're not
You
talking
turf.
about turf again.
Ah,
Okay,
whatever.
you Google
Anyways.
that. Why don't you Google that? Vandal viewer with the very generous $20 dues. Thank you very much, Vandal. And he said the Pumpkin King has no need for hack keys, but when the pumpkin skin comes out in Ultra, you can equip it immediately. And the good thing about the August release date, Jackpot, I don't know if you were thinking about this, I assume most people were, is that it's going to be out in time for Halloween. So if there's a pumpkin edition, a skin or something, it'll be there for Halloween, surely. You know, guaranteed egg in the bag. I'll claim it anyway. War Room
better
said,
have something like that.
goddamn right. Are we riots? We boycott.
Yeah.
War Room
Easter
says
egg.
Easter eggs. Got to get that Decepticon Easter egg back in. Write it on the box. One thing I noticed is similar to the After the Fall trailer is they never actually hit someone with their gun. I doubt that'll be a thing. But they also cut right before the stab happens with the knife at the very end as well. Because I wanted to see if there's going to be blood. You know, what kind of a gore system? Like Pavlov is like maybe over the top gore. You know, it's kind of unrealistically. It's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool.
You know, some nice a tasteful slashing of blood. You know, little splotches, a little pitter patter on the walls. Might be
It'd be
nice.
cool if you stab them in the neck and just like at least a little bit.
Oh yeah, a little bit of spray. You want that fountain spray?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I wanted to see the animation. You know,
What do you think? Actually,
Actually,
as soon as we brought up that knife thing, what do you think is going on with that? You know how it says you can flick the knife between your fingers. You think that's something you actually are doing somehow, or is it like you hit the reload button? You hit the reload button, and then it does that.
I think it's a button press. I don't think you move your hands.
You don't think it's
I
detecting
mean, it
your
could,
fingers
but
moving? That finger detection action in the sense controllers.
that would be cool. Yeah, if you just touch, if you just touch it like this, and it spins around, that would be cool. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
But if
I
you-
don't know.
If you look at the fingers, I think it is the 3 fingers that are actually tracked as well.
That would be cool.
I could be wrong now, but I think it was.
Yeah, I think you have very high expectations in that, but I hope
But
it's
it's
cool. I
probably
think
it's probably a
doable.
ridiculously thing. Like it's probably a ridiculously complicated thing to do.
Right.
If they want
but
to do
it'll
it that
probably
way.
be cool. Just little things sometimes, in my opinion, adds to the immersion. You know?
Exactly. Which is kind of why in the video I put up as well. I know you didn't. You said you didn't see it yet, but like they focus themselves in the blog post and stuff about lighting. They talk an awful lot about lighting and how it's dynamic and how it's going to blow your mind just to use the flashlight, kind of. And you know, it kind of sounds stupid because well, it's just a flashlight. I've seen that in 1,000 games. But I think what they're trying to say is, you know, you haven't seen this in VR properly. You know, proper lighting with 8 people and they all have lights too, and you know, dynamic.
When those tracer rounds and stuff.
Exactly. Although I've heard some complaints. We can talk about any negatives you might have as well that you think of in the trailer. But let me get through these comments first to catch up a little bit. Rogue says, I see what was right about Mighty Eagle over there being on. Yeah, look, I had to replace someone at the last minute, and he was there. He was there. He was
The bottom of the barrel.
We're scraping. Rogue says marijuana's quota achieved. There we go. Pass it. Donate a bag. Is that what do you say? Can I have a bag, please? One bag?
One bag, no.
A brick?
I mean, you gotta,
Can I have a brick
Depends.
of marijuana, please?
depends. If it's illegal, if it's legal. If it's legal, you just go to a store and say, give me a certain amount of grams,
Grams,
an eighth,
all right.
or whatever, a
All right.
pound.
Give the man 5 grams. Is
Sure,
that a
I'll
loss? How long will 5 grams last you?
Depends.
Oh my god, you can't get a straight answer out of this man.
But it just depends.
just in
if
general,
if
on
it's-
average.
Reptilians or reptoids
We got another one.
are said to
We got
be
another one from
races of
Mr.
intelligent
Chopped.
creatures
I don't
which
know.
come from
You got the reptilian
extraterrestrial
one. I want to get rid of
worlds
that
or
reptile
parallel
one. It goes on too
dimensions.
long.
Chopped has just donated 5 through Super Chat.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Incredibly
Reptilian?
moist. Hey yo Jackpot, the new co-host. Liking
Is that
this
Pete?
TT.
No. Well, it's Peace. The reptile donation thing was for Pete, but it was chopped with the sensual $5 dues. I'll get to his comment now in just a sec. LSB says the American
I've been
flag on the
saying
back,
that
so
this
much
other week.
freedom. Daniel Dries is here. He says, "Yo, Rogue can smell us." Chopped saying, "Yo." The Mad Hatter, how you doing, Mad Hatter, as well, saying it's Firewall dead on arrival now that Roblox is coming to PSVR 2. It's not coming to PSVR 2, is it? It's coming to Quest.
Is it? What's that even game?
Did they
Isn't it like
confirm Roblox for PS?
Minecraft? I don't even know what that is.
It's weird
know, like,
because I look at it
toddlers
sometimes and it
play.
looks like shitty Minecraft shit, but then there's another thing and it's like ultra realistic first person shooter simulator that like you can make things inside us and you can make like dreams maybe or something, but I don't really understand it really. I know there's a lot of kids there involved, so I'm out of there. I'm not allowed by that game.
Sure.
Donnie says Pavlov has options for the blood levels. Yes, it does. But I'd like to see what kind of, what's the age rating, I guess, for Firewall. It's probably out there. It must be, as soon as you can pre-order it. But is it T for teens? You can get away with a little bit of blood. You can get away with a little bit of blood in T for teens.
Because after that is what? Just
M,
mature. It's not gonna be M. I don't think it's gonna be. What's Pavlov? You know what Pavlov is? Has to be M, right?
You'd imagine so. But I don't know. Because that's like, that game is violent.
That's what I'm saying. If it's
but it's like a
teens,
cartoonish
like,
violence, It's like a stupid kind of a violence. Chop says, "Sup, y'all. Hope all you GC eaters are doing well tonight. We're doing well so far. No GC so far, which is good." And Mr. Muzz is here. He says, "Hey, all. How you doing, Mr. Muzz?" And Owen Evans is here. Saying hello to Muzz. I didn't know Owen was here. And a Big Zay says 3 fingers lifting up on the side of the controller. You think that's how you spin it? Like you just release your 3 fingers and then a spin animation happens? Like it knows you've let go? That could be a way to do it. Like it would be automatic.
That could be the easier way to do it.
Yeah. But then again, there's a reload button that you won't use with a knife, so that could be the easiest way to do it,
Right.
Do you think you can throw the knife?
If you can throw the knife, it's going to be a button press. Because if you throw a grenade button press, I don't see them doing the knife
but if
physically.
If it's that way, then you'd imagine you aim with your eyes like the grenade.
Unfortunately, I guess, yeah.
Is that unfortunate? You don't like that?
I don't mind it, but I would prefer something else. But I understand maybe why they do it, and I don't have that big of an issue, but I would prefer that at least the grenade throws. You know what I mean? The grenade throws manual reload.
But I'm saying if you can't have manual, because we know that manual stuff is coming later. It's not coming at launch.
Right.
But would you rather like just a normal arc grenade throw, aim us like you did in Firewall 1, or would you rather use that eye stuff?
The eye stuff, just because, we have it. That's pretty cool technology, I guess, if you can use it. Isn't this what the headset is so expensive? Because of freaking eye tracking, so might as well milk it.
Exactly.
So,
You got to get that synapse if you want to milk it. Do everything with your eyes in that game.
Yeah?
Everything.
And tracking all your irises, and the government now has all your info, yeah?
So, they know you're looking at NPCs' asses. Chop's donation message was, "Hey yo, Jackpot, the new co-host, liking this TT." There you go.
He just
I think he complimented you.
Thank you, Chop. Me and Chop, me and Chop.
Yeah, you're thick as thieves. Unloco PS viewer says, "Worried about too much muzzle flash and tracer fire. Looks a bit distracting in the trailer." This is the thing I wanted to. I think it was Rogue who said this in Discord, where he was like, "Yo, the tracer rounds are a bit excessive. It kind of looks like laser beams and shit." What do you think about that? Is this a thing where maybe when you're playing it yourself and your eyes are focused on another area and it's sharper where your eyes are looking, that these things coming towards you wouldn't look as distracting, maybe? Or
yeah, I think. It's like, when we watch something on the screen, it's different when you're in VR. So it might be too much, it might not until we're there, but I'm not as worried, because I think those type of things, they can probably tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think I see what they're talking about with how bright and everything, because especially like all the trailers, just like everybody, like both squads are just shooting at each other at the same time. So yeah, it looks like 4th of July fireworks.
And keep in mind as well,
which I don't mind myself.
It's that HDR as well that we can't see in this trailer when we're watching it on our laptops or whatever. Maybe some people can, I don't know. But on the headset, like the light levels and stuff are going to look different. So maybe it won't be.
And didn't people already try the game and they say that the game pretty much looks great, and it's,
Yeah. Well, there was a couple of people who had negative things to say, but I think overall it was positive.
What was it? Suzuki?
Like the actual hands-on previewers. A couple of them were like, "Oh, this is a bit janky," or I can't even remember what exactly it was that the issue was. So yeah, muzzle flash too much, but even if it is too much, like you said, that should be something that can be easily enough fixed. It's not like a core thing. It's just I won't say cosmetic, but it's just like a tweak to the lighting or something.
Probably, because aren't they doing the flash grenades that like it blinds you like for a while supposedly or something like that, or I don't even know what. What
Yeah,
was the mechanic if you leave your eyes open?
yeah, you
Like,
can
close your
see
eyes?
it in the trailer. Like he actually puts his hand up, so you can cover your eyes with your hand, or you can just close your
Right,
eyes.
right.
And if you do that, then you
Okay.
won't get the stun. You know, you'll be free to go about your
That's a
business.
pretty cool mechanic to use for the whole eye tracking. Like
Yeah,
that's pretty,
yeah. And
milking their money.
they've kind of tweaked the flashbangs as well, so that they're a little bit more visible. They look like they kind of flash. They got like a light source on them, and they're highlighted red. I mean, grenades were already highlighted red in 0 hour, but they seem more obvious, so they kind of give you a little bit of a chance to either close your eyes or put up your hands. But you're
Right.
still at a disadvantage if you're forced to close your eyes, like, you know. So it's not like flashbangs would be useless.
Right. I wonder what's the timing for you to, have your eyes closed and open, for it to not affect you.
I assume when it explodes, you know, as long as you miss that explosion,
Yeah.
and then you can you go by the sound once it goes bang, and then you're safe to open your eyes. I imagine you can see it in the trailer. Did you watch this trailer?
Yeah. One time
One time.
earlier.
Okay. Well, you can
Yeah,
see
one
like
time,
he
yeah.
blocks it with his hand. I assume it's just his hand.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
he
and
closes
I've
his eyes
seen
as
them
well.
before. We watched trailers before that they show this stuff.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. But you can see how quickly like the explosion fades. He doesn't suffer any after effects.
Is there? Do you think there's like a half effect? Like maybe if you kind of blocked a little bit, it still
What if you wink at us? What if you wink at us and just
Just
have
one
one
eye.
eye? If you have one eye closed and then switch to the other eye, will that protect you? Like, I
You're
don't know.
permanently blind now.
Because there is that mechanic where if you're aiming and you close one eye, it will slightly zoom in on the eye that's still open. So it'll be like, you know, you get it, like you're aiming down the rifle and then you close one eye, which is what some people do, but apparently you're not supposed to do that in real life.
I'm very curious about the whole new aiming thing they got going on. Whatever. Yeah.
Because there was another thing as well, and I don't think they mentioned it in the blog post, where you pull the trigger on your offhand, I think it was, to go into like an enhanced aiming type thing, but I don't know if that's been replaced or they just didn't talk about it today. I'm not really sure. I'm still confused. I'm still confused about that aspect.
Well, at least now that it's a month away, I'm assuming now they're gonna start dumping. Well, let's
Yeah.
hope, but I'm assuming they're gonna start dumping more of the details because I mean, there's quite a bit that we don't know about.
There's a lot. We like how many maps, you know, how many contractors, you know, what kind of weapons we talking about. I think there's going to be, like, it could be like a trailer every week now until launch because it's only, 5 weeks away, something like that, you know? I mean, if you think back to Firewall 0 Hour, there was a separate trailer just for contractors, there was a separate
I mean,
trailer
that
just
would
for
be
maps,
cool if they do that, but
and then there's the launch trailer itself, you know? I mean, there's a minimum 3 trailers they can be spitting out there, putting us on the PlayStation YouTube channel.
it would be cool because some of the games like Horizon and stuff like that, and I don't care if other people don't watch it, but we watch it. Like they make trailers and they do like in depth they talk about the mechanics and what they do instead of a blog post, because I think that would be pretty good.
This blog post shit has to end.
Yeah,
It's crazy. I mean, it's too late now. The whole development cycle of Firewall Ultra was told to us in blog post updates, which is ridiculous. I mean, I don't think there's going to be an event before Firewall comes out. So
No,
like,
and
where
again,
they're
I
gonna
don't think it's
showcase
their
this.
fault.
No,
It's
I don't blame
Sony.
First Contact at all. I 100% blame Sony for that.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want people to know that they've got a PSVR 2. It's like, no, it's a secret. Don't let them know about these games. Keep them to yourself. I don't know what's going on. Donnie says, at least others got the proposal of the host position. At least others got the proposal of the host position. Jackpot came to me, if that's what you're implying, that I just went and picked him.
He didn't.
He came begging on his hands and knees. LSB says Jackpot is so deflective. Are you deflective?
I don't know. He was trying to squeeze it on Twitter on the chat that who was gonna be the co-host.
Oh,
I don't know
deflecting
which.
about that. Sorry. Okay. I thought you
I'm
meant,
assuming
like, in
that's
general.
what he's talking about.
Maybe you're just deflecting all the questions I'm putting towards you. You're like, yeah, you know, whatever. Firewall, whatever. Go suck on a lemon.
Maybe.
Chop says 5 grams is one big fat boy. Okay.
Damn,
That's just
Chop.
one. That's only one.
If he does one in one sitting, 5 grams,
Yeah.
he's good.
Is that 17? That equivalent to 17 marijuanas, would you say? Could be.
Around, I think, yeah.
Okay, all right. Vandal Viewer says, Trevor said in their Discord that their animator was the actor himself for that knife animation shot. So the fella who does the animation, like mocapped it himself, is that what you mean? Or would you call it mocap?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Do you think it just stabs him and takes the knife out and that's it? Or do you think they're going to do like a more in-depth animation,
You think that was just like an animation?
But like, do you think you stab him and then that's it? And the guy just drops,
It's a good question. I don't know it depends on if the knife can leave your hand. If it's stuck to your hand.
Right.
But if it can leave your hand, then you're talking about being able to throw it all of a sudden.
That would be cool if you can leave it on his back, and then
as
just
a warning
pick it up
for the
when he's
rest.
down.
But then listen, we're talking about custom knives all of a sudden. Customizable knives.
That would be cool.
With little hilts that we could customize. Put little
Like
LEDs, flashing lights,
No.
lasers.
Oh my!
Disco balls, a disco ball that spins
Oh
around.
my! It's not Fortnite. Stop it!
It's what we're getting. It's what's coming, and I'll buy it.
Listen, I hope they can let us buy trinkets and stuff for $1, like they did
Trinkets
before.
for no, you'll get the seasons.
I miss my pants.
You'll get the seasons, and you will get the hack keys. Well, they haven't confirmed hack keys yet, but I assume if it's not hack keys, it'll be just a different version of hack keys.
Because the hackies list is just
Unless you
unlock
get
the
whatever it
item,
is you
right?
want in that
Yeah,
season.
man. Yeah. Man, that'll be fine still, but yeah.
If they keep that system, but we can see by the pre-order information and stuff that the op passes are coming back, so it looks like it's going to be the same.
Well, maybe similar. Yeah, that's another thing I'm very curious. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that I don't know. I doubt they'll do another game mode, but maybe. I don't know. I'm not really worried about that, but there's just a lot of stuff that I think we don't know,
Well, there's they hinted again about this PvE mode, like this co-op mode. They're saying it's brand new, it's different to what that was in the first one, and they're hyping it up a bit. But they're keeping it secret also. They're not talking about it, but every time they hint about it, they're like, "Oh, this is something you're gonna like," And then
sure
also,
it'll
of
be
course, we know about Ultra mode, which is where the manual reloads come in and hard, like friendly fire and all that kind of stuff. So at least that.
Now, can I ask you a question about that?
Do it.
Do you think that they actually had that in mind, that they were gonna bring it out, or do you think that they're making that because people complain about not having some sort of manual reload?
I think they probably planned for a hardcore mode where friendly fire and stuff like that was coming, but I doubt manual reloading would have been part of that, if you know what I mean. I definitely think it was a reaction to a lot of people being like, "Hey, we've played Pavlov, and manual reloading is kind of sick, so we want that now." But a lot of people,
It's not 2014 anymore, whatever that was.
well, listen, a lot of people are like, "Oh, haha, first contact." They're listening to player feedback and they're actually putting in what we want. What a bunch of idiots, It's like, what do you want? Do you want them to not do it? Do you want them to not add
That's
that
the point. We just like this game, so we're giving our opinions. And it's cool that they're listening. I would still play the game. I think the game without the hard stuff or whatever pro mode, whatever ultra mode, it would still be great. But I'm more excited now that they're gonna add that, because for me specifically, I like a little bit more, hardcore, realistic, if whatever you want to say. But I understand the people that just kind of want to, be more not worry about the reloading and all that type of stuff.
I agree, because after playing however many hours we've been playing of Pavlov, I've been doing the reloading is good. Obviously, it can be annoying with the sniper rifle when I don't get the bolt down all the time or whatever. It's a bit frustrating, but overall, it's better than auto reloading. But yeah, like you, if they didn't add it in, it's still gonna be a game I'm gonna be playing.
Oh yeah.
And you can argue that it levels the playing field for everyone, but then obviously it lowers the skill ceiling or whatever, so it just goes back and forth. Lots of different things, but I'm happy it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope it doesn't take too long to come. And that I'm not just talking about reload, I mean the whole ultra mode, because I want like friendly fire and stuff. That sounds fun.
It does, yeah.
Warroom says Roblox has the worst pay to win stuff imaginable. LSB says my kid plays Roblox, it sucks. Rogue says my kid also plays Roblox, and I agree, it sucks.
Damn, all the kids.
But every child is playing it, yeah. Rogue says as long as he gets it out of his system while he's 11. Too many manuals going on around here already. Too many manuals going on around here.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
Racist.
Manuals? He didn't say Manuels, all right? He said manuals. Mad Hatter, how you doing? Well, I already said hello to you, but I'll read out your comment. Was it Walking Dead or some game where you could press a button and they could change the way you held a knife? Yes, it was. Maybe it was a flashlight thing in Alex. You could do it with the flashlight in Resident Evil 8, and you can do it with a knife or whatever.
How about
you carry
Saints and Sinners?
In Saints and Sinners, yeah. That's what he means when he said The Walking Dead. I haven't played Alex, so I don't know if you can do it there too. Have you played Alex?
I played about an hour until like there's a puzzle that I just was like, nah. It's a little too hard.
Press the start button. Press start
It's
to
the first
continue. You're
puzzle
like,
when you
nah,
press
what
all
is
buttons.
this? I'm not reading.
And I was gonna, you know me, I don't like to watch YouTubes and figure it out. So I just left it. It's installed. I haven't, but I've heard it's good. You know, it's
Yeah, it's
good.
not-
That's
well,
Decepticon. He's
People are saying
played
it's like the best VR game you could possibly play, and you're like, nah.
it looks good, and I mean everything else. Yeah, so I'm sure they're right.
Okay. I want it on PS4 too. LSB says Jackpot was a master of tossing grenades in the first Firewall. And that reminds me that impact grenades were confirmed. You can see an impact grenade going off immediately
It
after it
was.
hits someone. So they're back.
So listen, it benefits me because I wasn't that great, but I brag about it. For those grenades. So now this time there's the same type of tossing grenade. That benefits me because it's kind of similar. Because in Pavlov, oh my god, I throw grenades and 80% of the time it lands on my feet, which is also the fun part of it. But it's harder to throw. But I'm okay with it. But yeah,
grenades.
thanks OSB.
Like I forget that I have grenades most of the time because when I use them, it's like it rarely works out for me, you know. Whereas in Firewall, I was like always using them. It was like
Well, in Firewall, you were not that great with grenades either, if I remember correctly.
no. Well, anyone's good with them because it's just you hold down the button and the arc appears. So at least it goes where you want it to go. If you know what I mean. I'm not saying that that's better than manual. I would like manual grenade throws as well.
I'm excited to try the whole eye thing. I mean, obviously, I will prefer the manual, but I mean, this is still pretty cool.
Well, I like a combination, like where your eye kind of assists the throw, but you still throw it manually. That would be the dream scenario for me. I think
an aim assist kind of thing.
Yeah, but not cheap. Not like it doesn't like home onto someone. You know, just kind of it knows where you want it to throw it. You know, and then it goes in that direction, but it doesn't
Read your
follow one
mind.
or anyone. It doesn't home in. That's what I would like.
Well, tell Frank.
Excuse me.
Write him up right now.
It's too late. I said the game is about to go gold if it hasn't already. Owen Evans says, lift 3 fingers and aim with your eyes. What is this Illuminati stuff? That's for the knife spinning. 5XL says, oh, it's Jackpot. Now I can go back to some other shit. Oh, shit. Rogue says, Lamau. And Jeremiah, how you doing, Jeremiah, says, be cool if tracer rounds got to be something you pick in your loadout. Yeah, because I think in real life, you put the tracer rounds at like the end of your magazine, because it's kind of like an indicator. It's like, oh, my magazine is getting low because I can see these fucking beams of light now. So now I should swap my weapons out. Whereas in this, it seems like every bullet is a tracer round. But again, not something that bothered me too much. But it might, maybe when we play, I don't know. War Room says, I'm interested in perks and gadgets more than light and eye tracking. That's what makes the game. I mean, it's all the ingredients of a delicious meal. You know, we need all the ingredients, War Room. But you're right that we haven't heard enough about, because they got this new guy, Havoc. He's like the main poster guy now for some reason, which makes me think as well that there's some kind of single player shit going to happen. But he's got a perk. I can't remember what it's called. Unstoppable, maybe? Well, anyway, but he's got... it's like 2 perks in one. So it's Bullet Sponge and it's either Double Time or Heavy Juicy or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. But that was just one of his perks, is 2 perks from the first game. So that makes me wonder, is every single contractor now going to have like 2-in-1 perks? You know?
Well, it could be. I mean, I don't know what they're going to change. I mean, I'm even curious to know how many, like, contractors we're gonna get, because when the game came out, we were getting contractors. I mean, we were getting a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of content. We were getting contractors and maps and all that stuff. So I know they're working on other stuff right now, but I wonder what's realistic. You know, should we expect 2? Should we expect 4 new contractors? Are we gonna some contracts are gonna be gone now. Like,
It'd be
I
interesting,
wonder
because there's a progression in them. Like they've aged, so time has passed. There's some kind of story shit going on there. Skip is old now. Fang is bald. Okoro doesn't seem to have his beret anymore. Like stuff is changing there. So they brought in this Havoc guy. There's a good chance, I'd say, that you say like maybe 4. I think there'd be more than 4 new ones. I would imagine so, because
But I mean, like 4 new ones added. Like, let's say how many? God, we had a lot of contractors. But do you remember how many contractors we had?
I doubt that everyone returns from the original,
Right.
if that's what you mean. Especially if you're including all the DLC ones. I can see like Ruby or something like that coming in like season 3, except they've given her skills where she's more viable than just like stealing some crypto that you don't need anymore because you've like maxed out everything you wanted already.
Yeah, that could make sense.
But yeah, my thing about the skills is like they're combining them now. So what does that mean? Instead of contractors having 2 skills, does that mean they can all have potentially 4 skills now?
Nah, that'll be too much.
But if they all have I mean, I don't know. Maybe it will be too much. Maybe it depends on, maybe they've reduced the number of skills. I don't know, because like a lot of them skills in the first game were kind of like ones you'd never use. Like who's going to put on wasn't there one of them like repairman where you put on the door blocker faster, or you disassemble it faster,
Half
or
of the
something
stuff
like that?
nobody used.
Yeah,
Everybody
exactly.
used like.
I mean, to be
a lot of the
handy
same stuff.
in that specific situation, but you're wasting it most of the time if you didn't pick heavy duty or something that was more common.
Right.
Rogue says Jackpot's a bit more exotic than Decepticon. Get Decepticon on there, and it'll be like a UN convention.
Damn.
Multicultural. But Decepticon doesn't want anything to do with us. He said he doesn't have a camera anymore because he was using his laptop. He's using his laptop camera.
Whatever camera.
He used
Which
to be
is
a cam
fine.
girl.
It doesn't matter.
He used to be cam girl, but he's not a cam girl anymore. Unloco says, think we will see another aim controller, or should we invest in a stock?
Invest.
I think invest in a stock too. If you really want the two-handed feel, I think you're going to have to invest in a stock. I feel like First Contact Entertainment maybe would have given us some kind of a wink or a nod or a hint if an aim controller 2 was happening that they knew about. But I'm trying to think, how long was it when the PSVR 1 came out that we found out about the aim controller? Because I know it came with Farpoint. And Farpoint was
I don't know. I had Xbox, unfortunately,
disgusting,
for a while, and then I switched to PlayStation for the PSVR 2, and I bought it when the Skyrim bundle was out.
Yeah,
so I think that time already the aim controller was out, maybe.
Yeah. So Farpoint was 2017, but I'm just trying to think, like, because they announced it, obviously, maybe at like the E3 or something before that. So maybe we knew about the aim controller before the PSVR even came out.
Yeah, I just don't think that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, well, I was just saying, like, whereas with PSVR 2, we still haven't heard anything about it. So surely, if it was happening, we would have heard something by now.
I just don't think it's gonna work for the two-handed controllers that we have to use. I'm assuming that there's gonna be a lot of maybe like one-handed weapons or two-handed weapons to grab it. So it just wouldn't make sense unless it's detachable, like those that you can buy that have like magnets or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they do one, I'm sure they're gonna do a really nice one, and I will definitely buy it. But I don't know if they will. But at least we have other options, so which is good, I think.
Yeah, that's true. We have third-party shit, but a lot of that is like you got to pay, $80, and then you're waiting like 2 months because it's just some fella printing it out in the 3D printer in your shed and like.
Well, if you live in Ireland,
something.
Things take a bunch of months to get here, but the rest of the world usually takes like a couple weeks.
All right, we'll see. What was my point? But if Sony do bring out an M2 controller, I think Firewall is like, they've kind of set it up in a way that it could easily support it, because they've got automatic reloads, they've got throwing grenades with your eyes, so you can all do that with one hand, or 2 hands. I mean, you don't need individual hands, is what I'm trying to say. Maybe the knife might be difficult, but there could be workarounds where they just bring back the old way of just like pressing the melee attack and a stab animation pops out and does damage. I don't know. Right.
So there will be like people playing the regular mode with the aim controller, and the people that play the ultra mode, they just play with the regular controllers. Is that kind of what you're saying?
No, I don't think they'd want to split up
Right.
players based on controller. Even the hardcore mode is kind of more splitting up than they probably would like to do.
Yeah.
But maybe based on feedback, they might just bring manual reloading to everyone at some stage.
Everything. Yeah.
I
At least
would
they.
imagine.
I mean, I think at least they listen to people.
Yeah.
So
It should
not
be,
worry about that.
shouldn't be shat on for listening, which some people seem to do. I think some people just have it in for first contact entertainment.
Yeah. Some people
There
just
are
don't
some
have.
people who just don't like them. They can't catch a break. Donnie says, I hope there's throwing knives. Well, we did have the throwing knives in the first one, but obviously it was like just a button press.
Was it far? How far could you throw the knives?
You could throw them
forgot
far,
already.
yeah, but they would drop, so you'd have to take into account the drop off. But it was that Kane guy, the New Zealand,
The bald
no, not
guy?
New Zealand, was he New Zealand? Like all the tattoos, the Maori tattoos and stuff. Matt Hasser says someone throws a frag grenade. Someone throws a frag grenade. I'm not really sure what he means by this, but it was Impact, wasn't it? That was thrown in the video. Maybe that's not. Maybe he's not even talking about that. I don't know. Important is here. He says Sony's market department is run by Dr. Steve Brule. Do you know Steve Brule or Brule?
No.
The
Who
reference
is
is
he?
lost on us. The reference is lost on us. Sorry, important. Rogue says fidget spinner LED knife. Damn, a fidget spinner on the bottom of the knife. You come across the dead body, you just start spinning at it.
And that's the one thing I didn't mind. That I didn't really. They didn't go too crazy when it comes down, I think, to the trinkets and to the, outfits and stuff that you can buy in Firewall. So I hope they don't go too Fortnite in this one, which I don't think they will. But
I think it was
never
the
know.
technology that was holding them back. And now that they got PSVR 2, they got dynamic lighting. You're going to see all kinds of flashing lights. You're going to see crazy neon
it's fine. But you know what I'm trying to
suits.
say, right? Like,
No, I know what you're trying to say. There's a lot of people who hate that kind of, that picture of the army soldiers lined up and then one of them is just dressed up as a clown, which is...
I'm sure Tsuki will love all that stuff, like the anime skins and all
Anime
that.
tentacles.
But,
Tentacle knife. Important says, hope there's not revive in hardcore mode, or at least only doggy style revives. We haven't really seen any reviving going on in any of these trailers, have we? We don't really know much about reviving.
The last game you couldn't move, right? You just stay in the
You
I
drop
think you
immediately.
just
Oh, you
stay
can
in
move now. That was it. They changed that.
You can move, yeah.
But
It'll be
they
cool if
never showed it,
It'll be
though.
an animation to drag people, you
That
can
would be
drag
cool.
them, so
That
it's
would be
faster.
cool. Rogue says, lol, manual is a term here for when you do it yourself. I can't remember what his original comment now was. He said there's too many manuals here. Too many do-it-yourselves here. I don't understand.
My brain doesn't have enough wrinkles to comprehend.
We don't. Combined, our brains don't have what it takes. Someone can give someone a manual. You can give someone a manual. Is this a sexual? Are you talking about hand jobs?
In Vegas, I
Give
think
me a
it's
manual,
legal.
please, Rogue. Half-Life Alex is good, so we're very far behind in the chat. LSB. Roy Schwartz is peeping. How you doing, Mr. Roy? Important says I couldn't
I'll be
finish
quiet.
Alex either. Got bored. Damn, I heard it got scary
said
towards
that?
the end. That's what
said
really
that?
happened. Roy, that was important, by the way. So that Roy says hitting the like button will grow your penis. I believe him. I believe him. Do it. Important says hope using a Pro Tube isn't a competitive disadvantage.
Oh, the Pro Tube.
I can't remember who it was who said it, but it could have been Tradition or someone like that, maybe Germ. But he was saying the high level Pavlov players, they go back to just the two controllers because they're quicker to reload that way. It's a fraction of a second quicker, but at that level, maybe it wasn't Pavlov, it was probably Onward or something like that. But
Right, but the way that I see it, I suck, right? I'm not the greatest. I don't really care about extremely competitive, the half a second, millisecond.
yeah,
If that thing moves or that vibrate things, I'll get it. If it fits and it's compatible with Firewall, I'll buy that any day. But I get what they're saying, right? If you're really competitive and care about that, right?
Yeah.
But for me, I'll buy it any day.
but the ones who care about it, the ones who are really competitive, they're the ones who are going to be the loudest about it. They're the ones who are going to be talking about it.
Well, they don't have to buy it.
Oh yeah, no, I get you. But they also want that two-handed feel. It's It's a lose-lose situation, kind of.
They do.
Chopped says, bro, you got owned by nades in Firewall. I assume he's talking about you.
No. I got a compilation video.
You got a compilation?
I got all kinds of things
Or
about
a
my grenade
compilation
throws.
video.
Kobe's all the time. Just luck.
Bukaki compilation videos of Jackpot online.
You like that, but no.
Ram Wrench videos.
None of that.
No,
that's LSD. I'm nowhere near Vegas. I don't want to go there.
Jeremiah says, I agree with Pumpkins on the aim assist manual grenades. Grenades in Firewall are spammy and stupid. Worst part of the game, in my opinion. The impacts were a bit fucking, ridiculous. They were a bit ridiculous.
Yeah, there was a time that the impacts, it was not even fun anymore, because as soon as you'll see anybody, half a second later,
bang.
your dick is just impacts.
Yeah, I remember at the very beginning.
You're screwed.
Remember at the very beginning, they had like that under barrel grenade launcher too. So you combined the impacts with that, and the whole team was just wiped out.
It was so overpowered.
They nerfed the fuck out of it though.
Yeah.
Muzz says, one thing about the grenade throw is that it looks like you throw it in almost a straight line. Not much an arc or option for arciness. That's true. Like you can't technically can't possibly do it when you're aiming with your eyes. Like you just have to look where you want it to go. So if you wanted to bounce it off something, you'd have to just look at where you wanted to bounce it off. You wouldn't have that arc to assist you. So in that way, it would be harder. It would require more skill because you need to just know like where you want that to bounce. Like golf, like mini golf, you need to do the trigonometry, have all the lines appearing on the screen in your mind, and then throw it that way. So it could be harder that way, which would increase the skill ceiling. Some would say. No. Ace Diaz is here. How you doing, Ace Diaz? Chaos is here. What's up, Chaos? Jackpot, any thoughts on that? You were going to say something there?
On the whole grenade stuff?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully they give us more news soon.
Okay. Important.
Do you think there's going to be a demo? No, probably not.
No way. No way, Jose. If there was going to be a demo, they would reveal that today. They'd be like, stay tuned for an open beta coming, 2 weeks time or some shit. Although it would be nice to have, this is the type of game that would need a beta, more than fucking Final Fantasy 16. Important says, now that AIM is dead, you need a new name for the show. Brain smoothing, says Important. We can still touch tips. The tip touching refer to the guns in the game, alright? The logo is just symbolic and it refers to the heritage of this channel. SDS says 3 perks. But if the perks are combining now, then how is that not 4 perks? Well, maybe not every perk is combining. I don't know, obviously. I've only heard about that one.
Just one contractor, right? That does that.
But if it's just him that does it, then everyone's going to pick him. So there has to be some kind of overhaul with the perk system going on there, is what I'm saying.
Just go ahead right now. Ask him. Call him live. Put him on your microphone.
He's busy. He's stressed. He's trying to get it out the door. He's beating Kyle. He's chasing Kyle around the office. Get back to work. Get back in your chair, Kyle.
Get in front of
Frank is going the other side. They're all trying to round him up. Rogue says, lol, missed dice with that Death Star mic. That was my Death Star mic. I gave it to him. And this is how he repays me. This is how he repays me by the amount of my spit and my DNA that was on that ball that I just gifted to him.
Yeah.
He could be cloning me over there in New Jersey for all I know. I sprayed my DNA all over the mic in New Jersey.
It was your computer mic, right? Again, it was a computer mic, right?
It was a computer mic. It was a blue snowball. Blue snowball.
We all know what you did.
I didn't wipe it. I didn't do nothing with it. Just threw it in a box. Threw it in the box room.
Decepticon just puts his mouth.
He just licked it immediately when I opened it. Finger licking good. SDS says, didn't even talk too much about this game. I hope it's good. I hope it's good too, SDS. Chop says, what you say? It's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
Of course.
Firewall.
Of course it's going to be good. Chop said he sold it all for weed and women. Oh, and Mr. Biggles. He probably did. He sold his webcam. He sold the microphone I gave him. He probably sold just all for Mr. Bigots.
For Mr. Bigots.
Treats for Mr. Bigots. LSB says, I've passed down all my PSVR shit to my son, including my aim controller. Including that, like, have you seen his bootleg PSVR 1?
It's like Mad Max.
Butchered. He's butchered. It's like
like
Fallout.
you
You see that in
drilled.
Fallout. You craft that in Fallout New Vegas or some shit.
It's like shooting lasers at the
Muzz says, I don't think we'll see another aim controller. LSB agrees with Muzz. Roy Schwartz says, pizza and stuffed cheese bread. I'm not sure what to do with that information, Roy. I'm not sure what to do with that.
What?
I think he's just telling us what he's eating. Is that what you're eating, Roy?
Ooh.
Link and aim gun, says Big Zay. Link and aim gun? You mean you want a link for one of them Pro Tube things? Hot and ready, says LSB.
Damn, LSB loves
Jalapenos
some hot
and
and ready.
bacon, says they're just naming foods. Muzz says, with the grenades, if someone is behind a barricade and you want to lob a grenade over us to hit them, will you be able to do that with the eye tracking? Like I was saying there earlier on, I know this is an old comment, so you probably get it already, but you just have to aim where you want it to bounce. So where you aim, we're in a position where you know it will bounce back behind the barricade, basically. So you look at the wall behind us or something. Important says, yeah, I hate the off-brand outfits and skins. Hope it's not too many insane clown posse snowboarders this time. Chopped says, gotta bounce. GG y'all. Have a good night. 17 marijuana's out. Chopped.
GG Chopped.
Thanks for the generosity as well. And mind yourself. Obviously, the only Aussie in the room, says Rogue. He was talking about hand jobs, by the way. Donnie is one men's behind. Slow down. Big Zay says, I want a tap vision double tap mute button on the headset. Well, actually, I think they've confirmed they're bringing the mute button, which they didn't have in 0 hour. Sure they didn't.
The only thing I'm very excited about is the we don't have to leave when people leave. You know, the lobby.
Yeah.
Lobby simulator.
Dedicated servers.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Dedicated servers. How do you feel about the best of 3?
Good. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to
can
be
go
like,
quicker too?
like you'd be like, let's say you start as an attacker, then your defender, then your attacker again, or do you think the third one will be randomized?
Maybe at the beginning, maybe there's a bow or something, or maybe it just randomly puts you where it puts you, and then I don't know. I'm sure once the game comes out, people are gonna start either complaining or saying what they think. They're gonna freak out immediately.
Whatever
like,
happens, there'll be complaints.
Yeah.
Regardless, no matter what they do. Important says, in Firewall 0 hour, there's a direct correlation between your inclination to rush on defense and the colorfulness of your outfit. But Russian was that was like the only tactic you could really do at the end. You know, like that. You know, the meta changes over time, but at the very end, where like the updates kind of slowed down and everything was kind of staying the same, Russian was what you had to do, really. You know, you had to fight fire.
Yeah,
with
that was
fire.
that was a good strategy. Sometimes I just really hope, because they rush a lot and they just throw a lot of the impacts. I just really hope the impact they like nerf them or they do something about that, because there's people that just are very good at the game, and especially they're good with those grenades, and it's just, you know, people.
Well, keep in
like us
mind,
that we
like
suck.
this time you actually have to physically equip the grenade. You know, you have to be holding it in your hand, whereas before you could just tap the button and it would just fly out. So that should slow it down. At least like the double tap spam, if you know what I mean, it should slow it down.
Well, now that you brought that up, I'm gonna change the subject. Oh. The
What?
for you, nothing. Do you think that the devs are going to, you know, immediately make changes when it comes down to, we're talking about the game modes, right? Or the type of game. Do you think they're gonna add game modes? Do you think they're gonna change like the best of 3? Do you think they're gonna leave that for a while? Because that's something new, you know, and I don't know how people are gonna think about that. What are they gonna think about that shit?
Well, if people do start complaining about best of 3, like they're just gonna have the best defenses. Like, this is what you were fucking asking for the last 6 years.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, makes sense.
I don't know if they'd be able, like they should be able to change that. I imagine. Like
I can change anything.
you can change anything, obviously. Well, can you? Like certain things are like there's a core built around it, whereas like, you know, a lot of people wanted the respawning mode in the first one where they were like, no.
Right.
They were very insistent that that wasn't going to happen. You know, that was their vision.
Right.
But if they've dug their heels in on best of 3 and that's what they want, then it could be the same thing again. Like no matter how much complaining you're doing. And keep in mind as well that the whinging and the complainers, they're like the 1% of the player base.
Right.
You know, and they've got the stats. Right. They know what people are playing, how many people are playing, how often, you know. If there is a big drop off in players or whatever, then maybe they do something to try and fix that. But
I think at the end of the day, regardless of those little details, overall the game, in my opinion, is going to be so good because even Firewall now, PSVR 1, besides the graphics not being the greatest compared to some of obviously the PC VR games or PSVR 2, the game still holds up pretty good. Like it's a good game. 100%. So
that aim controller keeps it young as well, like, you know.
Yeah, so I think there's not gonna be, for the most part, issues to keep the player base. The game's gonna be good. It's probably gonna be one of the best, if not the best, shooter out there. So yeah, I don't think they're gonna have problems with that. But yeah, when it comes down to the tweaking and stuff, like you said, maybe the people that complain the most are just a minority. But
yeah, that's how it is.
You know, I sometimes complain, but.
Yeah, well, like,
yeah, it's fine to
complain, but then it's just like the excessive kind of, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's people that take it too seriously.
Yeah, they get like just angry, and there's just no need for it. Just relax, Right. Decepticon says I wiped that mic down. Roy Schwartz laughing. Sprayed, microwaved, cleaned. You microwaved it? Rogue says I'm surprised that Mike made it through customs. Biohazard emoji. Mus is not bouncing off of something. I mean, throwing the grenade straight in the air, and it falls down on your target. I guess it'll depend on how far you actually throw it, or if you have control of how hard you throw it.
And then how long does it take for it to blow up? Frags, right?
If it's a frag, then it'll take, like, it should be, there should be a limit on how high you can throw it, you know? Because I don't think it's going to be a manual throw. I think it's going to be release the button, and then the grenade will just automatically be flung where you're looking. You know, so if you want to do that high up shit, you got to be looking at the sky, and then it will go a set distance. You know, it'll always be the same distance. If there's like an open sky, obviously, if there's a ceiling or something above you, it's going to bounce off or whatever. But that's how it. That's pure speculation, obviously. But that's
there's some games that there's some games like I think it's Battlefield that if you're just aiming up and throw a frag, it's not going to even land and it's going to blow up in the air. So I wonder, like you said, if it's going to give you a certain distance that you can throw it so that it actually bounces. Because I think that can change a little bit your, you know, strategy of how much you can, you know, actually angle your grenades and all that. Yeah.
Well, I always used frags in 0 Hour. I never really used impacts that much. And there was a decent amount of time you could, like, properly plan the roll of it. If, you know, you wanted it to bounce off that wall and go into that room or whatever. And you know, there would always be some time, and often that would be annoying because they'd have too much time to see us and run away from it.
Yeah.
Important says you didn't need to rush. People just got impatient and only cared about kill-death ratio. I felt like towards the end we were in squads where we were being rushed, and I was like, if we didn't rush as well, we were having trouble. You know, of course, I was playing with a bunch of smooth-brained stoners, and they'd all go off by themselves and do their own things and go like picking mushrooms or whatever.
Picking mushrooms.
But yeah, I mean, there's other solutions as well, like setting up a trap. You know, everyone stick together and gun them down with shotguns or whatever. But you know, it was annoying to always have to deal with that tactic as well, even if you could overcome it. It was like, okay, it's getting repetitive.
Are they gonna have like some type of balancing, or because last time what was it, level 60 or 50? That's as high as you can go, 50, and I feel like. I mean, we played a lot, right? But there's people that play way more than ours. But you get to a certain point that you just get with people that are very good to level 50 or 60. But then there's people that are probably level 1,000, and we just get ran over. So do you think that there's going to be some type of balance or better balancing there? And because I think that puts a lot of people off, especially new people, because you know, they just start playing, and if they haven't played at the beginning when the game came out and they waited a month, now everybody's level 60 and there's just not even fun for them because they're just, you know, can't do anything.
I don't know. I mean, what is the solution? Like to add more levels, go up to 100? Is that
maybe add more levels, and then maybe add more levels and have some type of way that they can, you know, people that are from level 0 to level 10 play with each other. And if there's no player base, and then maybe you start putting people, okay, from 0 to 20 or whatever.
Yeah.
The kind of like that. I don't know how it works. I'm not a dev, but some way of balancing the match system, for the player skill base and stuff.
I'd say if like out of let's imagine that Firewall 0 Hour had 1 million players total. How many of them do you think actually hit level 50? Because that was a grind.
But it was a grind, but not. I don't think it was like obsessive grind. We played a lot, but
I pumped a lot of hours into that to get to level 50.
And there was a lot of double XP stuff. I don't know. I feel like they should do like once you reach a certain level, then they can do like I think Call of Duty used to do or does this because I don't know, like Prestige 1 or level 1, and then you get to level 2 and all that type of stuff because that way, there's ways of. But then and then you just put whoever's closer to their player.
But then you're talking about like a smite because no matter what happens, even if this game sells very well for a PSVR 2, even if every PSVR 2 owner owned this game, you're talking about less than 1 million people, and then compare that to Call of Duty's player base where you got millions and you can afford to split them all up into way more ranks and stuff like that. Whereas with Firewall Ultra, let's say there's a level 100. How many people are actually going to make it to level 100? They're going to be ranked. They're going to be match met up with like the 60s and the 70s and the 50s. Probably.
Well, they can test it out. They can put like up to 100, level 100, and then people play and they see how it works. It's like, nah, it's too many, or actually, the people that are level 60 are playing with level 100s and it's not fair, so let's put up a higher level. I don't know. They can mess with it. I'm just saying that for how it was before, I don't think that is going to be very beneficial for not only new players but just in general. And we had this on the Discord. People have told us this, that it sucks because they start playing Firewall, and if they're not like right away, everybody's a lot better, than them. But I don't know, but you know what I'm getting.
Don't you think like once you hit a certain level that you're kind of at the peak? Like let's say you get to level 50, like what are you learning between 50 and 60 that you didn't know?
We were 50 for like 3 years, or I don't even know, but we were living 50 forever.
Yeah.
And we were getting ran over, and you can tell like, oh my God, these guys and these guys that play in tournaments, I don't know, their brains have more wrinkles. They're better at the game. Yeah. So I don't know what that is because I suck and I don't know what that is, but I know they're bad because we're level 50s and we play with other people. Like, okay, these guys are a lot better than us. This guy's not that much. Yeah. So
I suppose they kept adding maps as well. That kind of set everyone back a little bit. Everyone had to learn the maps again. So that's like another way to kind of freshen it up a little bit and level the playing field a bit. New weapons, change the mess up.
Those guys are high level. They're gonna play 24 hours and learn the map in a day, and everybody else gonna take them a month. But I just, as long as they can, they know what they're doing over there. I'm sure they're gonna hopefully work something out like that. Not that it was bad or anything, but I hope they kind of upgrade that a little bit.
Personally speaking, I don't think I ever felt like I was like. There was definitely times where we were getting smashed by top elite squads or anything, but I kind of enjoyed that. I liked how we kept going, and then we got that one win, and that was like an achievement. It felt satisfying. But whatever, not everyone likes that.
I don't mind personally. I'm just saying for people in general, especially for new people that come in, I feel like
it can be off-putting. 100%.
Right. Yeah, I don't.
But then of course, as well, you got to keep in mind
with people that are better.
Like they added all the fucking missions and all the seasonal stuff, so you can really boost your XP that way and climb the levels.
Yeah.
By like tapping on doors, So anyway.
Right, but like, is it level 50 then actually skill, or is it just because you tapped on doors and you got more XP?
This is what I'm saying. It's a complicated issue. I don't know if adding levels fixes it. No, I mean, it depends on a lot of things. There's a lot of factors, I think.
Yeah,
player base, all that kind of stuff. Where was I? Big Zay says the after-school community on PSVR is a nightmare. Maybe? I'm scared for Firewall. Is he that? You mean like there's kids? Is that what you're trying to say? There's like too many kids on PSVR? What's after-school community?
Maybe
children.
Maybe he's referring to little kids.
He means squeakers or something. Mm-hmm. But we were like, me, because I got a channel dedicated to Firewall. I never really had a problem. I never really had to play with randoms, so I was always blessed in Firewall 0 Hour. And you were kind of probably the same as well, where you were like always Well, you were in my group, Alhasser squad, and you didn't hear the enemy squad, so we're probably killing squeakers a lot, but didn't know it. You know, which is
Not proximity chat, right?
Exactly, yeah. But would you like that though?
I would like proximity chat. I would like proximity chat, but if you want the ability to mute people because then the squeakers start saying all their bigoted stuff like you say all the time, and I just want to mute them. But yeah, it'll be cool. I mean, I played PUBG before, and that's one of the most fun things when you just tease with people, you know.
Toy with
but
them.
It's fine if it's not in there. Yeah.
All right. Important says, I think best of 3 means first to win 2. That is true, but if somebody wins attack and then the other one wins defense, how does the third one get decided? Like, because somebody will have played attack twice or defense twice. And on some maps, like, remember the passport, like the passport embassy one on the Firewall 0 hour, you had that passport office where if you spawned in there with the laptop, you just had, like, you know, bulletproof glass in front of you. You practically had it won. So what if you're getting defense on that twice? I do the maps cycle. Like, if it's best out of 3, is it best out of 3 on that map, or is it, do they change the map in between rounds, or, you know, because the loading speeds is going to be super fast, like, so maybe they can, like, quickly slot in a new map.
I don't think they'll change the map.
You think they'll stick to the same map for the round?
Yeah, because people are gonna complain. Oh, you know,
no,
if we were defending that one, you know, we would have won or whatever.
After thinking about it for more than 2 seconds, I agree. You were 100% right.
You're welcome.
I didn't thank you. I did not thank you. Rogue says, oh, he's talking to Muzz. Superfly is here. He says, Pumpkins, they going to make a gun controller? Ask Superfly. We'll get this question more than any other question, I think, in general. And I don't think Sony are going to do it. They do have the patent, but I don't know if they're going to do it. They're certainly not going to do it in time for Firewall Ultra. So if you really want the two-handed thing, you'll have to go third party. You know, ProTube. There's a few other ones. Vader something.
Vader.
Important says the counter to rushing is an ambush, but harder with smooth brain teammates. But then you're like, you are right. I agree with you. But then you always have to ambush.
Yep.
And surely you get bored of that eventually too. Like, you know, it's like you were just forced into doing it because, well, I felt like anyway it was always rushing. You were always up against rushers.
Well, yeah, but I feel like there was times that we counter instead of, most of the times like, okay, well, let's just rush back, and it works sometimes. But I feel like sometimes if we just waited and planted C4s and stuff, sometimes it will be, you know, we'll do good there.
Well,
so I don't feel like necessarily it has to be rushed.
It definitely happened, but I think that was like rare that we actually were like, okay, let's all put our heads together, guys, and come up with a plan.
Smooth brains never
Well,
want
exactly.
it. Like,
Exactly. No, I don't disagree. LSB with the mushroom emoji. Important says they need 1,000 ranks, otherwise people smurf. There was a smurfing pandemic in 0 hour, wasn't there? LSB says matchmaking based on rank. Killer Sam, how you doing, Killer Sam? Says, I would really love to have different game modes like search and destroy and extraction of hostages. I would like that. The hostage one would be cool. Yeah, that's something we could do in Pavlov. We could do that in Pavlov, like just create a custom. Like agree that someone on the team is a hostage, and then one team has to defend them, get them from one point of the map to the other. You know.
Right, and we just agree that once they reach to this point, then they're good.
Game over. You know.
Do you think they're gonna bring any game modes? I guess I don't want to, but
I don't know.
Any more game modes or anything? I think it's gonna be just the same, maybe different. You know, best out of 3, and that's
other than Ultra mode, maybe not. I don't know, but in terms of PvP, I don't think so. But maybe I don't know because
I think hostage mode would be cool.
Hostage mode would be cool, but I don't know if they do something like that. It seems like a drastic kind of change. And considering, I just bit my tongue there. Considering they never added any modes to 0 hour.
Right, but they didn't have modes, I think, because they say that that's just kind of not their vision. They didn't want like team deathmatch, which I get what they're coming at. They want more like tactical and stuff, and also I think the player base, because they didn't want to split the player base. I think now hostage mode I think could work because it's also tactical and it changes the gameplay, because now you don't have people just tossing grenades and spamming grenades and killing you because they're going to kill the hostage. So it's still tactical, and actually maybe a little bit more tactical, and it changes a little bit, and it's not completely different. And then people can just vote, at the beginning, like when people say some other games vote for a map, you vote what kind of game mode or something, so that way they
Yeah.
don't split the player base. I don't know, whatever they want to do, but I think hostage mode could work, in my opinion, and still make it tactical. And like I said, it's just the spamming the grenades I really didn't like about that.
Yeah. Well, I agree. Like
Fine.
I like the idea of like voting to not split up the player base or like rotating through different modes or whatever.
Right.
Will they do it though? Who knows?
Probably not.
Probably like they probably just have to perfect what they have first, and then when that's done, maybe then they'll be like, okay, let's add something onto it. I think Firewall Ultra should be a PS Plus game. That is my belief, and I also believe that there should be no PSVR 2 games that require PS Plus to play online. These are all barriers that we don't need. Too small for those barriers.
Yeah, but, Mr. Sony, greedy over there.
Mr.
So
Sony can be a little bitch sometimes. But he treats us good, and we love him. We love him, and he'll be good to us next time. He
sometimes
promises things will be different next time.
Mark treats me pretty good sometimes. Mark
No, he doesn't. He doesn't even know you exist. He doesn't know you exist. He's too busy with Elon Musk. Chop says kill death ratio. Welcome back, Chop. By the way, kill death ratio matchmaking would work no matter what level. That's an interesting point. Has that ever been done? KDR ratio, like matchmaking, based matchmaking. Warroom says as a sweaty gamer, level 50 was easy to get. It was just a grind. It was time consuming.
Yeah.
So my point is, a lot of casuals would be like, level 32 is enough, and then you're left with just like a significantly smaller population of players who are kind of forced to all play it together because of just there's not many of them. Chop says, okay, I'm out. Goodbye again, Mr. Chopped. Important says, I like Chop's idea, KD or ranking. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Killer Sam says, some players memorize each maps and play with tactics. This is true. I still don't know if I know the shoot house map. I should, but I don't know if I do. PPO says, what version you getting? Standard or deluxe? Good question. I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, I don't know if I want the deluxe stuff. I might just like buy the battle. I might be able to get a review code. If there's any game I can get a review code, then it
if
would
they
be
don't
for this.
send you their butt cheeks with the game, then
The problem with that then is if I don't pre-order it myself. Like if I pre-order it myself, I can have it preloaded and I can play it immediately on the midnight. Whereas I don't know if I'll get an early code.
Be like, hey, can I get an early code, please? Because my channel has been dedicated for you.
I don't think because the servers don't even like to be no one to play with if you get an early code. If you know what I mean, like they might not have them.
Well, they'll sign your kids away if they're like, hey, like Frank, you sit in front of Frank on the table, you're like, listen, we'll give you the code, but if you need to play this game as soon as we release it, you can upload it or like install it, but you can't play it, and that's it.
Well,
easy.
It sounds, and I just have to give him a child.
No. If you don't comply, it's like those NDA agreements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you end up playing the game before, they know that you in the server you're playing, they'll just come and pick up one of your kids. But if you don't, all
right, no.
You have to follow the rules,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. PPO asked me the question. Jeremiah says making people have to have their guns in the ready low position when sprinting would go a long way to discourage rushing. That's a good idea as well. Pavlov kind of has that. So it does have that, doesn't it? Yeah, you can't sprint in Pavlov unless your gun is pointing down.
I think so. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think your gun has to be in a certain way, but
I like
can't
that,
be aiming and running.
Like that.
Yeah, no. Mm-hmm.
And also, if you're getting shot at, you can't sprint in Pavlov, which kind of annoys me. Because that's the one time in my life I think I would be sprinting in real life.
Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe if you get shot, you're probably like
not if you're getting shot, but if the bullets are going around you, even you can't sprint.
Oh, do you slow down in Pavlov?
I think like it forces you to like walk or something, suppressing fire basically.
That'll suck.
Warham says you may not enjoy Firewall as much if you had to play with randoms. That's something I've said. I've been blessed. I'm a bit ignorant to some of the issues that other people are having with having to play with all kinds of degenerates out there. By the way, the date is the 24th of August, yeah. And Phasmophobia. What's the bet that's coming out on the 24th of August as well?
What's the 24th? What day of the week?
It's Thursday.
Tuesday?
I think it's Thursday.
Okay.
And Phasmophobia devs have said they're aiming for the end of the month, like toward the end of the month. 24th fits that as well, I think. That's toward the end.
Probably within a week of each other, which is fine with me. I'm excited for Phasmo too.
I wish Phasmophobia was earlier in the month, and then it could just go into Firewall after, and it'd be a nice little rotation going on.
Nah. Yeah, but
if they're out the same day, I'm gonna have an issue. I'm gonna be sad, Important says best of 3 goes attack, defend, attack. Then next round you're defend, attack, defend. But what happens then if like you drop 2 players, they drop 2 players, and then you got like a new squad and it kind of resets or something? Like how would it keep track of that? If you know what I mean. I don't get. I feel like the third one being random might be the most fair way to do it.
yeah, that's weird. I don't know. I'm sure other games do it in a certain way, but I don't play that many other games. But yeah, maybe they just random. They just do random the third one, or maybe I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know. But it's not my job to know. It's not my job to know. Vandal Viewer says the Cobra Vader one, that's the one, is the third party aim I have. Works great for Pavlov. I think that's the Magnet one. Lone Wolf says, well, Tasuki, goddamn, I call him Lone Wolf. Deluxe gives the operation pass, though it does, but I could also get like an op pass code if I'm good, if I behave. Muzz says KDR matchmaking would break when a team has 2 players with great KDR and 2 with bad KDR. Who would you get matched with? Well, would it average it out? If it was intelligent enough, like they'd average out the KDR and then put you, like it would be a team average KDR versus a team average KDR.
Right.
I think that would be the way I would do it, but I don't know if that's even possible. I don't know anything about matchmaking. Important says no worse than current matchmaking though, but can be better most of the time, especially if you jump on solo. Germ says COD/Warzone's skill-based matchmaking is based on recent KDR and people rage over it even more than the usual. They say every game is a sweatfest, and there's no variety. But that's what you want. Like they're complaining that they don't have a match every once in a while where they just steamroll someone or someone steamrolls them.
I don't think I'll do it in a million years, but I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna figure all this out. I mean, I don't think it's that big of an issue. That wasn't, but I mean, the issue is still there, in my opinion. But I have no idea how they're gonna, figure this thing out.
Just get 7 friends and just play private matches constantly. That's all you need.
And that's what we're probably gonna do. Probably privates most of the time.
Well, now that we've been playing like Pavlov and like we've been filling up Pavlov with like 10 people. I think we should be able to fill up Firewall as well.
Is it 4v4 again?
4v4. 4v4.
Okay.
Muzz says I think people would use it to their advantage and have a team with 3 bad players, so they can get grouped with a bad player to play against to boost their KD. Or I mean, there's probably going to be all kinds of bullshit going on. I remember actually War Room himself reminded me of that bullshit that used to happen in the early days of Firewall, where the jammer trick, you plant the jammer and then everyone suicides, and then they've got 60 seconds to find where the jammer is in the laptop and all this shit. Man, it's probably going to be something like that, just unforeseeable stuff.
Weird how the Decepticon's gonna find all the tricks and all the hacks and all the cheats and all.
Well, he's not going to be playing us, is he?
Oh, I forgot.
He's not going to be playing this. He's not.
Damn.
Fundraiser for Decepticon. Ace Diaz says, I'm playing Crossfire first. When did they get a date for Crossfire? Was that the 21st? 21st is in my head for Crossfire, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm not really excited about that. I'm sure it's going to be good. I don't know. I haven't really paid much attention to it. But
you're just not interested in the lack of PvP, is it? Or
just for me, for the most part, when it comes into VR, I don't have a lot of time, but when I play, I just prefer the multiplayer games. PvP is mainly my thing. I'm sure that game, maybe it's good.
It has co-op,
but yeah, well, maybe the co-op thing. Yeah, the co-op thing makes it a lot more fun. But But yeah, not as excited. I think Firewall and Phasmo, both of them equally have all my moisture equally spread out.
I'm worried about like the controller charge situation, you know, because like do these things
We
even
play
last
like
3 hours?
24 hours Firewall. How long does it last? Do you know? 'Cause I have it.
It's like 3 or 4 hours or something like that. I'm not sure if I've ever actually properly killed a mouse in a one solid session. But they're similar to the DualShocks, you know. They don't have, or the DualSense. They don't have too much in them.
They're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to just buy long USB-C cords and then just be like
RoboCops all around the place, all wired up.
I don't know.
Armstrong Million says, how you doing, Armstrong, by the way? Sierra Squad is also coming next month. I can't remember if they gave a specific date. They must have by now.
Sierra Squad, is that just single player?
That's Crossfire. That's the co-op one. Well, you can play it single player. You can have like 4-player co-op. But it looks like, I think the graphics are good. Like it's kind of like a AAA look to it. And looks like very fast-paced and arcadey kind of. Tsuki says, even if Phasmophobia and Firewall drop close together, it just lets you go back and forth on streams and keep it ultra fresh. Well, that's true. That is true. Tsuki. But my problem is like
Fresh.
I'm probably gonna like enjoy both of them so much when I play them at first that when I'm playing the other one, I'm gonna be thinking about the one I'm not playing, and when I'm playing that one, I'll be thinking about the other one and feeling like I'm missing out, you know. And it's stupid, but that's just the way the mind works sometimes. At least my one. PPO says need to get the PS Plus sorted, ready for some Firewall next month. Do it, PPO. Germ says pretty much no pub stomping. That's what they're complaining about over in Call of Duty Land, but they're always complaining about things. There's no game out there that's online where people are just like, wow, this game is perfect. There's no issues.
Phasmo.
Oh my god, I just watched your stream where you couldn't ready up. The button was all grayed out.
Listen, that's my issues with my stream. My
Deadeye
smooth
Dan
brain.
dropped out. He couldn't get back in.
No,
There we
listen,
go.
if
The
you go on
body,
the, if you go on the
jankiness,
Discord,
the jankiness. You
if
couldn't
you
pick
go on
up.
the
You dropped
Discord
a
for Phasmo-
voice box and you couldn't pick it up. You reached
Because I
down,
was
your
not
hand
pressing
was
the right
touching it.
button.
No, your hand was touching it. You're like, I can't reach this, and you're like, forget it. You know,
Listen.
it's janky. There's all kind of issues with this.
if you go on their Discord, everybody says they love the game. Nobody complains. There's no toxicity.
Yeah, but
like
people
you.
love Firewall, but that
bigotry.
didn't stop them from complaining about it. You know, people. Love
But they don't complain,
Phasmophobia.
and that's what I'm saying. They don't complain in Phasmo. Go on the Discord.
But there is things to complain about, and they do complain
Well,
about
if you're a little-
Phasmophobia. I've heard like ever since they introduced like personalities or something to the ghosts, where like they go super hardcore and it's too hard and it's not fun anymore and all this kind of shit. Now, I don't know any details. I've just seen that's the sentiment I've seen. Maybe they fixed that since or changed it since.
Ask Pete.
I don't know.
Ask Pete. He's a pro.
Pete would know. Pete would know.
He has 1 million hours in that game.
Muzz says if you get matched with a really good team and they destroy you, then you just bow out after the match and find a new one. Not too difficult. That's the option. If you don't enjoy the challenge of trying to overcome them, then that's an option. Important says Decepticon needs to get out on that corner and turn some tricks. Can't miss out on this historic event. He really does.
He needs to go to the Jersey Shore.
He does.
Sell his body.
Decepticon, the situation is this. You need to get a PS5 and a PSVR 2 stats. Roy Schwartz says there's no need to worry. I'm sure First Contact Entertainment will manage to balance everything together, including haptics and maybe some trigger haptics too. Well, that's confirmed, 100% right. They've specifically spoken about those things. They've actually even mentioned the sniper rifle in the blog today, and how
Really?
it feels different pulling the trigger on the sniper rifle than it does to a handgun or whatever.
But do we get zoom? Scope?
They've not shown us off. I think you can see it in the artwork. You can see like the cover art has one of them holding a sniper rifle and it has a scope on it. But we haven't seen what that looks like yet. But I imagine it's going to be, similar to Pavlov.
It's hard. Scopes are hard in VR.
The trick is to keep both eyes open. You're aiming
Really?
with two eyes together. That's the trick. Important says gunstock with USB power bank inside. I'm a genius. Yeah, that's a good trick. That would be a good trick. Until you need to separate them for something and then the wire rips or yanks or whatever.
Or they just need to sell us a separate pair. Just let us buy another.
They won't. For some reason
for
they won't. They don't
controllers.
want people to know that there's a PSVR 2 out there. so they can't have accessories in the shops. Oh, someone did something. Major Tuffy subscribed. Thank you very much, Major Tuffy, if I read that correctly.
Tuffy.
Major Tuffy. Warroom says Armored Core on the 25th. Armored Core. Isn't that the From Software game? That what you're into? That's what you like? You like the mech games? PPO says made by those devs who did that Daisy in VR thingy. What are you talking about?
Oh, that dating VR game.
What was
I'm
made by
surprised I
them?
made it over here.
I don't know what he's talking about though. That's summer vacation, wasn't it?
I think it was summer vacation. Yeah.
I should have got that. That would have been a good one to stream, but I never did it.
Yep. Should ask for a code.
I'd be on a list. I'd be on a list somewhere if they did that. Tasuki says better to feel that way than to feel burnt out on doing the same stuff we have for so long. More options are great. LSB says Phasmo is so fucking janky. Fun, but effing janky. He's screaming like he's putting janky in caps locks, by the way.
Oh yeah, let's be.
Tasuki says we're gonna all be level 50 and have Decepticon coming in as a level 1 newbie 6 months after. He's gonna be the bait. We're gonna hook that. We're gonna worm the hook with Decepticon.
He's never gonna buy it.
He probably won't know. HDS says we should be able to put some batteries on the controller like the Quest. You put batteries.
Very smart.
Oh, the finger batteries. You mean?
Very smart.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I wouldn't like to have to go to like I don't want to have to buy batteries. You know, it's
Right.
feels
But then
like
then
1990s Game Boy shit. You know, I don't want to have to buy batteries. I'm not going back to
Right.
those.
right, but then give
But,
us
yeah.
more controllers to buy.
Yeah, no,
Give
I
us
agree.
options,
I agree.
like-
I agree. Rogue says gunstock with power bank and magnetic charge port adapters, and I finally caught up with all of the comments with that.
Jesus.
Tired. Why don't you talk for a while, Jackpot?
I feel
Why
like
don't you say
I
something?
feel like I need to shut up already.
Really?
You know, my opinions. You know,
What opinions?
what do you mean my opinions? You know what I think about this game.
All right, yeah, no, I know about that. Was there any other details that we haven't covered yet? Any pre-order, like the price? That's something we haven't talked about.
The price, I'm actually surprised because what is it? At least $39.99. And the other version is like $59.
Yeah, so
you said
$20 between the two of them.
right. How much was Horizon game? The VR game?
Horizon, I paid €80 for that, so that was a full price game.
Okay, so I thought
I think
Firewall.
did I pay? Maybe I paid 70. Hold on a second. I think
You
I
paid
paid
too
80, but it could have been 70. But go
Too
on.
much.
Sorry.
So I think the price is really, really good because I was expecting them to the Lux version will be the regular price, and then they'll charge you another $10 for whatever
Yeah.
other version. So
Yeah.
$40. I think that's good, and it also helps more people get into it because at a $60-$70 price, I'm not saying it's not gonna be worth it, but you
It's
really,
a barrier.
yeah, you're really $40. It's it's good because 30. You're disrespecting the devs, I think.
But they
'Cause
still got
game
the
is
3.
good.
They still
game
got
was
the
gonna
3
be-
in there, so it's $39.99. So once you see that 3, like psychologically, you're thinking, oh, it's only 30 something.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's 40, but it's still. It's
Yeah, and
I
I
think
think
it's
the
smart.
price-
I think it's smart.
I
And I'm
was
surprised. I don't know who decides that. I assume Sony decides the pricing.
Probably at the end of the day, I'm sure might have an opinion, but maybe Sony at the end of the day decides.
Well, if
what
it
the
was
price will be.
Sony, then that's a rare, intelligent move that they've made in the last little while.
Rare.
SDS says, I'm going to give you guys a tip. There is this little capsules of bank charger. You charge them and then connect them to your controller while you're playing. I know I know the power bank tricks, but that's a lot of hassle. It's like I've got to charge these other things, and I've got to strap them to my arms, and it's just a lot of nonsense.
But it's like playing the PSVR 2 already. You already got a cord in
Shut
it.
your
Just
mouth.
add
Shut
a
your mouth.
couple
Nobody
other
even
ones,
feels it. Nobody even knows the cord is there. It's so light and so long and lengthy and allows for so much graphics to come through. Roy Schwartz says, well, to be fair, I bought 2 battery packs that go in line to the orbs just in anticipation. If that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. If it works, it works. I'm not gonna shit in it. But me personally, I would just like to have and like an extra set ready to go. Rogue says it's
Especially
60.
because we're gonna play a lot of time. We're gonna play for hours and hours and hours.
100%.
If it's just like back in the day.
Yeah. Well, maybe now that I can't stream for that long anymore because I got responsibilities and shit. But for a lot of ye, it will be like hours and hours and hours.
Right.
Rogue says it's $60 Australian and 95 for deluxe. So I don't know why Australian people do this. Canadian people do this too. They put out these big prizes, but then they don't mention how they get paid. Like they get paid more, and it all balances out. It's all the same at the end of the day. Am I right, Rogue? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's how it is. Armstrong Million is subscribed. Thank you very much, Armstrong. With that strong arm smashing that subscribe button. Do you guys have any idea how the Operation Pass works? Yes, because it will work the same way as Firewall 0 Hour, I would imagine. So it'll just be like a season, basically. So the game will launch with whatever it has, and then after a few months, you imagine season 1 will drop. It'll probably be called, Operation Thunder Farts or something like that, and then it'll come with a contractor, a map or two, maybe 2 contractors. Did they come in 2 contractors? It's like the one at the start, and then they drop another one halfway through or something. Wasn't that how they did it?
I think most of the times we got 2. I think at the end there was a couple of ones that we just got 1.
Just one. Yeah, they trickled off at the end. But those early ones had a couple of maps. Because remember, Containment was the first map, but that wasn't part of a season. That was like before they did seasons. And then they'll also come with these missions. So you do the missions, and then each mission will have an unlockable cosmetic. And the free ones, where you don't need to buy the op pass, they will have the good stuff, like the guns and stuff that you want to unlock. So they don't put those behind the paywall. But then there is the ones behind the paywall, which is the op pass.
Right.
And if you beat those ones, you get the cosmetic stuff.
Right. Do you remember how long did the Operation Pass they usually last? Was it like a month, 2 months?
Like 40 days or something like that. And then sometimes they would extend them,
Because in here I'm reading on the what it comes with, the digital deluxe edition, it says Operation Pass, and it says early unlock of 4 contractors. Does that mean that we're gonna get 4 contractors in one operation?
No.
Things?
No. So this is, we should have actually brought that picture up on the screen. We're not doing a very good job here. Well, I'm not, sorry. Do you remember when Firewall 0 Hour came out first, like only 4 of the contractors were unlocked? Like you had to unlock Texas at level 12 and whoever and whatever. So if you buy this deluxe thing, they unlock immediately, Right. But also if you look at that image again, you'll see that you'll unlock outfits for them. So it's not just camouflages now, there's outfits. You notice they're all like wearing the same helmet. So I think you're getting like more customization for the contractors. Like you can actually change what they're wearing, not just the colors.
Right.
Which I think will make it harder to identify them. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah. I'm very curious about that. I'm very curious about what are the, trinkets, type of different outfits we can wear in that. And what I'm more curious about is how is the lobby going to be?
Yes.
What are we going to be in the lobby? Are we just going to be sitting? Because at the beginning, the lobby was, fun because we could move our arms around. Like this game, Devour we're playing, you can move your arms around and all that. Obviously, it'll be better if we can have like a target practice or something to test different guns and that. But I'm just curious what's going to happen specifically when it comes onto the lobby. They've
talked about this, and like even the blog post today, they've outlined. I think they call it like an immersive lobby, a social area or immersive social lobby, something like that.
What does that look like?
But basically, it'll just be an area like you'll wander around it, like you'll be walking around, and you can go to there'll be a shooting range. You can walk over and test out the gun. So that's all going to be. That's all there, it's going to be a huge improvement over what we had in 0 Hour, and they even mentioned that you could kick footballs around. There'll be soccer balls and you can kick them.
How does that work?
You probably just run into them and then the ball moves like, Destiny. Did you ever play Destiny? And it's like a ball on the ground in the tower.
Nope.
And okay. Well, just physics. Just run into the ball in physics. So I hope that answers your question. Armstrong Million, and thanks again for subscribing. Ace DS says you don't need to strap it against your arm. That goes under the controllers. I'll send you a pic to see what I'm talking about. So you're talking about it fits in the loop. Is that what you mean? Like, or it sticks to the bottom of the controller? either way, my point is that it's a lot of hassle, because I got to charge these things separately to the controllers. Whereas I've got a charging dock here where I could just have another set ready to go, First world problems, though, Roy Schwartz says, also, lol, I do have a second headset just in case. Really? Suzuki says, Operation Depleted Batteries. Get roasted questicle. Muzz says, as long as I can go back to sitting down while playing Firewall, standing for so long in Pavlov kills my back after a few hours.
An old man. Muzz is an old man.
Maybe he's got tits like me. Do you got tits like me, Muzz? Where it's like weighing down you need that sports bra. That's what I need. Some kind of support. Ace Diaz says, I think Diaz in front of the cover. The guy in the middle, if that's what you're talking about, the guy in the middle, he's a new contractor. He's called Havoc.
Yeah, with the hat.
The guy with the baseball cap on backwards. He's fresh meat. So he's from.
Where's he from? Are they going to add more places now?
How do you mean add more places? As in maps?
Well, countries, yeah, like different contractors. There were a bunch of different countries and stuff. I wonder
you mean like the origin of the contractors?
Yeah. Right? Where they're from, right? Their backstory and.
Well, I think this guy's American, but I'm sure there'll be new ones that are from who knows where. Hopefully, we get the Irish one we've all been waiting for. We've all been waiting for. Was there a Mexican one in?
Fuck no. Why would they be? They're never gonna.
You sure there wasn't a Mexican one?
Not sure.
Yes,
but
there
I'm
was.
pretty sure.
Saul.
There was
Saul. He was the.
No,
he was a Mexican.
There was a Colombian. No, I don't think there was a Mexican.
No,
there was a Colombian. The lady with the little gun. That was one of my favorite contractors.
The lady with the little gun.
The Colombian lady. I forgot. I don't know their names. I just know where they're
she's
from.
She's got the extra mine. She's the Colombian.
Yep. That's one of my
She was my favorite.
And the Israeli lady with the extra C4 or whatever the C4 thing.
Nash. She was Nash. But I'm nearly sure Saul, and he was tactician. You could pick up enemy equipment and place it as your own.
Garbage.
But he was Mexican, I think. That's my point.
I don't think so.
My point is he was Mexican. All right.
You don't know your lore about this.
You
game.
don't know anything about
I don't
anything.
know either.
Anything about anything. Roy Schwartz says, I love you, Pumpkin, and I'm getting a crush on you, Jack Boss, and then a kissy face.
Oh, shit, Roy.
Roy, bag of ham. A free bag of ham coming in the post.
Free bag of ham.
I got a shed out the back filled with bags of ham. They keep coming. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else we haven't gone over? Was there anything in the trailer that you stood out that was like, what's this? I didn't see this before. Or...
No, I'm curious. It looks like for the hacking the computer, whatever we're gonna do, it looks like it's just reaching and holding a button.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's gonna be something different, like in Pavlov, that you have to physically press buttons or something. I don't think so. But
I don't think so either. I mean, they practically show it. They show how it works.
But they don't show everything. You never know. Maybe
there's two ways of doing this. I don't know, but it just looks like you go up and then the L1 button appears, and then you see the circle filling up like they're holding the L1 button. It's practically the same as the original, except you got an extra step of having to put your hand near it before the button prompt appears.
Yeah, I guess so.
Which kind of adds strategy because you're vulnerable when you're just pointing a hand. It has to have.
Right.
I assume it has to be unarmed.
Ooh. I wonder if, like, let's say you're doing that, or just regularly, if you have, like, say, AK or whatever, long rifle, and then you're shooting it one-handed, how much is that going to affect the recoil and your aim? Because, let me give you an example. Population 1, there's people that hide between the walls, behind walls, and they just put their gun with one hand, and they just perfectly aim straight like a laser, and they kill you. So I'm wondering... how much is it going to be the recoil, and how hard is it going to be to shoot one-handed?
I wouldn't be surprised if you try and shoot one-handed and nothing happens. Like you might force you to have two hands on the gun to shoot.
Well, I hope at least it shoots, because that would be lame and it just goes everywhere. That's fine with me. But
if you did that in real life, though, would you be like breaking your wrist, like the recoil of just like?
Well, with your baby wrist, maybe. I'm
talking about like an AK-47. You're not going to one-hand an AK-47.
Yes, bitch.
To shoot it like without damaging your own hand with the recoil. I don't know.
You guys don't have.
But yeah, if it works,
have guns over there.
I have got an AK-47 right behind me against the wall.
Dude, to shoot the coyotes.
I've seen this. You've seen it on stream. I show it off all the time. what was I going to say? But yeah, if it works the way you say, like where you can do it, then I would imagine that the Rico would have to be nuts. Like it would have
Well,
to just like
that would
maybe
be common sense, but I'm saying some games they don't do it, and
yeah,
it
but
really.
you're talking about a quest game. Probably doesn't have physics. They don't have any weapon balance, and they don't know what they're doing. It's just a cartoon baby game over there on Quest. You're in the big leagues now, okay? You're in the big leagues.
Sure.
This is a Sony first-party AAA title. All right, there's going to be weapon recoil.
With no manual reload. But okay.
Listen.
Don't start. Just keep
Listen.
real positive today.
Listen.
It's a good day today.
All right.
Release day is out. Let's spend a month.
Next time. All right. I was underhanded. It was below the belt. It was dirty. Roy Schwartz with the laughing face. Must says this turning into the love connection.
Damn.
If that's what
like
you
those
want,
shows in Latin
We'll get Muzz in
America.
here.
Like those dating shows online.
In Latin America, online dating shows.
Yeah, like there's like people in the they go on the show, but then they have the other person like through the computer. It's just weird.
Ace Diaz brings up an interesting topic. He says, "I wonder what they're going to do with Solaris Off-World Combat." I don't know if he means the first one, but they have announced the sequel, so they're working on that too. So,
what do you think how do you think that's gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, that's their own thing. That's like independent from Sony, so whatever they're doing with that is going to be like purely funded by them. And I feel like you could tell with the difference between Firewall 0 Hour and how well they supported that and how long they supported it because of Sony, apparently, like you would assume.
Right. But I think it's supported I think it's supported because people played it, like Firewall.
Yeah.
I feel like Solaris was good. I like Solaris, but it doesn't come, in my opinion, for me personally, it didn't compare to Firewall. It didn't keep me as entertained as Firewall, and I'm sure the Solaris 2 is gonna be good. But I don't know if it's gonna keep me away from Firewall, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Of course.
But I prefer modern combat to like sci-fi shit anyway, because naturally.
Right.
But
Personal preference, yeah.
But you combine that with the fact that like Solaris kind of came in a bit messy, like those like I don't know how it released on Quest first. So first of all, they had to make it run on a Quest, so that's garbage trash. But I wasn't trying to shit in Quest. But when they released on Quest, like they didn't even have the party. Like you couldn't party up and all that kind of shit. You had to you had to wait ages for the updates, and then it came to PSVR.
Yep.
I just felt like the player base was never really there. And like did they? I'm not sure what post-launch stuff came for that. I just went back to Firewall. I'm actually kind of surprised that they're going back to Solaris. I'm wondering, do they have something big? Like a massive change to turn us around.
I don't. It's because I just don't see it competing with Fire. And I know there's another, but it's just like there's just so many games out there. Maybe it's just something because they're really passionate about, and that's what they started with, and they want to continue to do it.
Yeah.
And again, I think the game is going to be good. It's just going to be hard because most people, it seems like they gravitate more towards Firewall, and there's just not, there's just so much people that you can.
I don't think they go from Solaris 1 to Solaris 2 without believing that they can change around the fortune. So they believe themselves they must, that they've got something different in Solaris 2 that can.
Well, they brought Solaris 1 thinking that it was good.
Well, yeah, but maybe they learned from some mistakes there, Or maybe they've got funding or something, more production value, or who knows?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe. I'm sure it'll be good, but yeah. Let's hope it's really good. That way we have even more games. It's just Firewall for me. It's going to be so good.
Is Solaris 2 coming to Quest? Did they announce it for Quest as well?
I'm sure it will come to the Quest. Maybe Quest 3.
I don't want it. Suki says, Baby Toon Viewer, the Ultimate Quest exclusive. Roast them. SDS says, at least it won't be no more zigzagging. Normal dancing around. This is the real shit now. I'm not sure what he means.
What do you mean?
At least it won't be no more zigzagging. Normal dancing around. This is the real shit now. I'm not sure what he means. Roy Schwartz says, will they combine the two? I'm not really sure what that means either, Roy. Combine what? Solaris 1 and Solaris 2? I don't understand the question. I don't understand anyone in the chat right now. You're not. None of these making any sense. It's crazy. But there was a lot. Surely we've nearly covered everything. If you pre-order, you get like an extra gun. Oh yeah, the guns, the unique gun things. So there's.
Do they show it?
Well, they show a picture of the gun you can get if you pre-order. So they've got a new. Do you remember when they brought in the op passes? And if you complete the op pass, you can buy a legendary weapon. You remember those?
The Colombian one was also my favorite, and the M4 or something like that.
Okoro's AK-47 and all this kind of shit.
Yeah,
so those were legendary weapons, but now they still have those, but they have also got unique weapons, I think they're called, where basically it's like it comes with a custom skin. It comes with like attachments that are specific to that loadouts or whatever. It's always with them, and you can you unlock them or something through progression. Well, I assume you do it through op passes or something.
Right. That's one thing I really in my opinion, gotta give it to the people from Firewall and First Contact, because you play other games and everybody adds the trinkets, the custom guns and stuff, and for the most part, like a lot of them just kind of suck. It's just like, and then maybe one in a million years, it comes one that's like, okay, that one's kind of decent. In my opinion, Firewall, when it comes down to the outfits, the trinkets, in general, it was just solid quality, and the teabag, the trinket. But the guns, like you say, they're like the premium guns that you have to finish the op pass. In my opinion, all of them, some of them I have my preference, but all of them were like, man, this is like, it really wanted you to like, oh shit, I really gotta grind this to get this gun.
That
so
shit was premium.
They're really
they
good at
really
that too.
Premium quality.
Yeah.
Quality pieces of hardware.
Yeah, definitely.
But you just remind me of like mini golf with them balls. The balls you connect, and it's just like, oh, it's a black one now, and oh, it's a red one now. Compared to the effort that they put in, like you said,
it's noticeable. Yeah.
Just trying to think, is there anything else Firewall related that was revealed today? That's any questions there's still a lot of questions. Like, how many maps are we going to see? Like, how many have we seen so far? We've seen Bunker, we've seen Oil Rig, and we've seen Office.
I think they're gonna keep the same maps and add some, because in my opinion, for the most part, there was not a map that everybody hated and nobody plays this. Like, I feel like for the most part we do have our preferences, but all the maps were pretty good. I liked all the maps. I think they were well balanced and everything. So I don't think they will delete the maps. It would have made no sense to me, because one thing you want in a game is more maps and more options. So I think they're just gonna keep adding, and every time, as far as I remember, every time they brought a new map, the maps were good. Like, all the maps are brought up, they were just good. So I think they're gonna add more than what we already have.
But I don't know. Are you saying, because we ended Firewall 0 Hour with like 20 maps or something like that, maybe more? I can't remember exactly the number. But you saying day one we've got those 20 maps?
Maybe I don't think they're gonna show everything. I think maybe not that many, but I just.
And then of course you gotta wonder, like, how many new maps are we gonna get?
Right. I think at the beginning we're probably only gonna get about 2-ish maps, 2 new maps that we haven't seen. Maybe 2 or 3 if we're lucky. But if we already have 20 maps before, I don't think they're gonna bring all of them, because they might be too much. But I don't know what is too much. But they might just decide and look at the numbers, the data, what are the most popular maps, and just maybe leave those and see the feedback, and people are like, oh, or maybe like you say, maybe eventually they'll bring like a classic whatever, they'll bring one of the other maps. I don't know, but 20 seems too much at the beginning, but new ones I'd say 2 or 3.
Okay, so
right off the bat,
Firewall 0 Hour launched with 9 maps. Do you think we get more or less than that at launch at Ultra?
I think we'll get probably similar, maybe 12, 10-ish.
Okay.
Probably 10-ish.
Roughly the same, maybe slightly more.
Slightly more, yeah, because I think it might be like some marketing strategy too. I know that they probably research all that stuff and how to work it out and what is too much and all that. So, maybe very, very similar. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go back to the chat. Unless you got anything else you want to add that we didn't bring up?
No, I just hope they just flood us with information. I understand they have a certain way they want to do the marketing, and they do this for a living, so they know what to do. But fuck, man, I just want to know more about the game. I want to play this game already.
Balls are blue.
They're.
Well, we got some release. We got some drainage. We got some drainage today. That was nice.
Yeah, they got a lot, because at least not only we got release date, but it's in a month. So
yeah, that's big.
That's definitely.
Big. Roy Schwartz says, I'm assuming I'll get the digital deluxe, but I'm hoping there will be a physical version in the future. I did reach out to FCE, and they did say that there was no No further information other than what was given in the blog today. So basically no comment at this time.
Right. So no. Eventually, maybe.
It could be out, like maybe not a launch, but the Firewall, like it's a Sony published game, so I don't see why they wouldn't. Bit of lag going on there, but I think it sorted itself out.
Like Wi-Fi?
No, like the laptop about to explode, probably.
Are you playing tonight? You done? You going to bed?
I don't think so. I think I'm done. Yeah, it's nearly 2 a.m. I'm talking about doing a Michael Jackson dance, says SDS, the moonwalk. Damn, you remember that? I just remember the moon dance now all of a sudden that he's brought that up.
So, yeah.
I had completely forgotten about that. Killer Sam says, weren't they ditching the Russian maps? They did, like the bunker map. So they showed off the bunker map when they revealed the game first. But they showed like a satellite image and it was zooming into Brazil. So the bunker map in Firewall 0 Hour is based in Russia. But then they've made it look like now it's in Brazil. So is that done because of the Ukraine Russia war, that they don't want to have like Russian maps in the game because, you know, it might look bad? I don't know. Maybe it's like Sony are like, no, you can't. That's too hot. You can't have that.
Maybe.
LSB doing a little moonwalk himself. Mus says, always need progression, something to work towards. It's the one big thing missing from Pavlov. That's an excellent point, Mus. It's something I wanted to say earlier on, but it went out of my head. But yeah, that's something that keeps you coming back to Firewall. There's always something to work towards. Yep. Where like we're always coming back to Pavlov, but you feel like, you know, it's kind of, it gets to the point where you're like, we've done everything. I've got all the skins at my disposal. I can be a clown whenever I want, or, you know. Mm-hmm. There's nothing. Really,
I'm surprised they don't do more of that.
It's crazy they don't weapon skins in that game, because they've got the golden gun for the one in the chambers. Like, why don't they do that for all of them? I don't know.
When you incentivize not only people to play, but if there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna spend money on it, so
big time.
Yeah,
that's what I'd be doing if I was him. Ace Diaz says, if anyone who want to play Solaris, hit me up. Ace Diaz is a big Solaris fan, but it must be difficult to be a Solaris fan, you know, because you can never play it.
Get a lobby, you know, full lobby, probably hard.
Lone Wolf, God damn it. Tasuki says, Phasmo is coming soon and we need to see the game being played on PSVR 2 and showing how it runs. There's no doubt in my mind it goes smoother than it does on PC.
Be fine.
Smoother than
even right now it looks worse than it is. It's fine.
Because it's you can optimize it on a console. You know, you can't really optimize it as well on PC because there's so many different hardware variations.
Right, and we're using the virtual streaming to the Quest to the PC, so there's that. If your internet is not properly connected, your settings, there's just a lot of stuff that goes into it. So I'm sure the PSVR 2 version is gonna run great.
Okay.
And look great.
LSB says, hope they fix the jank when the PSVR 2 version releases. And Tasiki says, Pavlov is also missing more maps, so limited. Well, I think what they did on PC was like the mods started coming out fast, so they could just rely on the modders to do, you know, the map work and all that. But now on PlayStation, obviously, it's a different story.
Yeah, I feel like they're not really working. I mean, I'm not saying they're not working hard, but it doesn't look like there's any movement.
Well, is it like just one dude? Is it just one fella doing it? Like, is this Dave?
No way.
Fella? I don't know, but it could be.
Well, then he's hoarding all the money because he should get more people to, you know, developers to work for him and get more stuff for the game.
That game has been out since like 2017 on PC. You know, it's an old one. Muz says, Tasuki, just change your damn name back. Although he shouldn't, because he's starting to trick me into calling him Lone Wolf now. So maybe in another year or so I will just be calling him Lone Wolf. I don't know. Anyway, have we exhausted Firewall?
I think so.
This was basically a Firewall special anyway. It was kind of like a test run as well, because I hadn't done touching tips in so long, and I definitely hadn't done it with another person in, like, I don't know, has it been years now at this stage?
Yeah, sorry to disappoint you. It was me, and not Mother Teresa or Joe Biden.
Listen, you can fill in, you know. But maybe we can get a third. Maybe we can get a fourth. I don't know. Like, we can experiment. We can see how this goes.
We can get a Decepticon camera.
A Decepticon cam. I'll just get a picture of him and paste it on the screen, and then someone can do the voice. Someone can do the voice.
Just put a Steve-O loop of, you know, him fucking cussing.
Exactly. So I think we'll probably wrap up then, will we? Is there anything else you want to talk about, in general? Not just Firewall. Is there anything else you wanted to
Are you
bring up?
gone? I can't hear you, bitch.
You can't hear me?
Did you abandon me?
That's weird. You can't hear me? Uh-oh.
You broke it. I can't hear you. We done?
Can chat hear me? I guess
Am
we're
I still
done.
in here?
I guess we're done because he can't hear me, but I can still see him and everything. That's weird. Lone suck of the year? Damn, I'll go for that. Tsuki's like, we hear both of you. How come he can't hear me? It's weird. Muzz likes us. I'll join you someday, PP. Yes, we hear you, says Did I Dan. We hear you, well, we can't hear. Well, I can hear him, but he can't hear me.
Bitch, if you're still there, I can't I can't hear. I can't see anything.
Just look at
Am I
your phone.
leaving?
Why
Are we
wouldn't he look at
done?
his phone? Why wouldn't he look at his phone?
Further, I'm
It's
gonna show you my shirt. Look.
What's he gonna do? Oh, he's gonna whip out his dick now. He thinks that he's gone. He thinks that he's off air.
That's a high Donald Duck.
Some crazy shit's about to happen. Maybe Amanda's gonna get on screen.
I don't know. But if I am, I'm leaving.
Hey Amanda,
Goodbye.
I just had
Thank
my
you for
first
having me.
podcast episode.
GG.
It went so well, Amanda.
Bye, Firewall.
Hey Amanda. Oh,
Get a
I
quest
just had
3
my
when it
first
comes out.
Firewall episode, eh?
Thank you, PP.
Thank
Goodbye.
you, Bessie. Well, okay, so
Goodbye.
I get to see
Thank
what
you.
happens when he
Goodbye.
disconnects now. So that's what happens when he disconnects. It just goes black. There's a little spinny icon thing. Okay, but I don't know what's... Because we're using Discord, right? So if I get another person in, or a third person, or a fourth person, I need to know what that looks like to set it up correctly. Because it might be like a side-by-side thing. But then if somebody leaves, it's going to mess up the screen. Anyway, listen, I shouldn't be talking about that at the end of the episode. I hear you both, but you can't. You both need to watch your own stream to hear. But I could hear him. He was the only one who couldn't hear me. Everyone else could. Did I Dan says he stands up and isn't wearing pants. Thankfully that didn't happen. Hold on a second. Let me end this call. Disconnected. Shut down that Discord trash. Okay, that went smooth enough. I think it's still ugly. It's still ugly. If you have suggestions, I want to get rid of this orange border. You can see it like all around. I tried to get rid of that, but it was bizarre. It was like I deleted it and it wouldn't go away. That's why it's there. I don't really understand it. It kind of ruined the look. But it's still pretty basic. Look, I don't know. I don't want that stretched out shit at the bottom. I got to fix the chat box. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of improvements I need to make. And I don't know, like if we get more co-hosts, like how permanent can that be? How regular can it be? There's a lot of questions to be asked and answers. Maybe we can figure it out in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, link is in the description. Anyway, I'm going to end this episode of Touch and Tips. Jackpot, I know you couldn't hear me, so I wasn't able to thank you in person, but thank you for joining me. And, brings me back to the days of Decepticon and makes me a little bit tender in the heart. Possibly emotional, even. Maybe we can get Decepticon back one day for a comeback tour. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for those who donated. Vandal, Chopped, thank you very much. That's appreciated. And also, I got a new member, Mr. Crumb, from back in the Patreon days. He joined the channel, so thank you, Mr. Crumb, if you're watching. Welcome back, and I appreciate that very much. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
What the fuck is this?